Canadian bear.
You know you gotta pay me extra for playing this clip.
Royalties, always.
I'm a Canadian bear.
Start to feel better about themselves, that they're going to start treating you the way that you have treated them. That is the big issue that you guys have with any marginalized group. You don't want people who are in marginalized groups to get equality or equity because you're afraid that they're going to get that equity, they're going to get that equality, and then they're going to start treating you the way you have treated them.
Are you fucking retarded? The hell's the matter with you?
So your fear is that if women start to wake up to the stuff that you guys keep pushing, they're going to realize that, hey, I don't have to be treated that way. And that is something that you don't want to happen. The same way that most of you guys feel about, different races, the way you feel about gay people, trans people. You do this because you want to exert that power over them.
I heard it's retarded or something.
And that power is a place of authority, a place of like exactly what the movie was showing with Ryan Gosling's Ken and all these Ken characters is this idea that masculinity doesn't have to be that. It can exist in a world with feminine traits and different people and still exist and live and thrive and be this thing that is something to be proud of without being toxic or about going too far.
Are you serious right now? Seriously? Are you for real? Seriously? Excuse me.
But you guys totally miss that because you're so afraid that if women wake up or marginalized groups wake up and realize the way that you have treated them is awful and now they're going to do the same thing to you. But look, here's the deal. Coming from my perspective, someone who's in the gay community, who's had this issue, this problem or whatever with you guys in the past, here's the thing. I just want to be equal. I want to have the same rights and things in my life that you guys have. I don't care what you do.
Oh my God, you're gay.
If you want to go out, you want to drink beers all night, you want to throw darts, you want to play sports, you want to work on cars, whatever it is that exists in your world that you think is super masculine, because I have no idea at this point what you guys consider masculine. It seems like you hate everything, really. Whatever it is you do in your world, I want you to be able to keep doing it unless that thing is attacking me and my community and other people. That is where I draw the line. You're not going to be able to come out and attack me and say all these things and say things about women and other marginalized communities without getting pushback. And you're just afraid that's what's going to happen if people start to realize that is the way you're treating them. So your fear is unreasonable. Your fear is based on this idea that you have to continue to oppress people because you are afraid. And I'm glad you admitted that, because I wish more people who make this kind of content would admit that you're afraid of marginalized groups, even though there's nothing to be afraid of. It's irrational, and that's what makes it phobic.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Oh my God. Hey, Tigger. What's up, Pooh? Oh my God, he's wrong. No!
Hi, friend. Can I step off to the side, please?
It's not funny. First of all, I hope no one was hurt. Like, why would you fall in front of me, of all people? Sweet Jesus, help me, because I'm trying not to laugh. There's kids crying around us.
Yeah, he was fine. He went fast. Luckily, but oh my God.
sorry.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome.
What's up?
I'm trying to be serious. I'm trying to be serious.
Yo, who did that to China's president, yo? No.
Jay, how could you, man? Poor weenie over there. Kids are crying. You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, you're muted.
No, keep talking. We can hear you.
Talk.
It wasn't me. It fell right in front of me on a post.
How typical of a response.
Very coincidental.
I didn't mean to laugh at him. He just kind of fell in a comical way. You know, his bare ass just
I have to be honest, his response would have been my response. Like, why me? Why would you do it to me? Like, I'm live streaming this. Why? Why would you do it?
That's how I cope with stuff, man. That's how I cope. It's like I just start laughing. I don't mean any harm. I don't mean to upset anyone. It's just and you know what makes it worse? People like me that laugh at everything. It's like when you hold it in, it just gets worse. Like you ever held in the laugh? You're like, I have got to leave and laugh, or I will just be a mess for hours. Like I've got to get it out of my system. I got to get it out. So it's like I just said I got to get it out.
I respect you for at least trying to hold it in, though.
When you hold it in, it makes it worse. You've seen people holding in laughter. It's just like they look terrible. They're all like
they look terrible. They make it even worse.
Breathing
they
funny.
look like they're constipated. That's what people try to hold their laugh look like.
Damn.
Oh my god.
You have that in common with Logan Paul though, so stay away from those Japanese suicide forests. You're gonna get canceled.
Man.
Seriously. All right, guys. Listen. Welcome to episode 50 of Saturday Night Hypnosis. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight on another epic adventure. We are having an amazing guest, someone we've been wanting to have on for quite a while, Drunk3po. Jay, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. We're going to talk about, of course, his book that he released. We're also going to be talking about just a couple topics like Leah Thomas and the fact that he was actually, I should say, banned from it's more like he was banned from women's sports, which I think is huge. It's a huge story. We need to talk about it. Of course, we're also going to talk about TMNT and what's going on with April and the whole original design that they apparently had, which was god awful. I can't believe it's actually worse than what was released. So we're going to talk about that.
Zombie character.
It's really bad. And then on top of that, they're like, yeah, this drawing is based in reality. So it's like, this is what you think black women look like? Okay, interesting.
It was not reality based.
Ed and Eddie reality. That's what it was.
Well, nah, come on.
It looked like Atreus.
What? Oh,
Atreus trying to say there's some black women that look like that.
Bro, now he's already arching his nose. He's ready for this.
Did you say some?
Oh god! Eventually I'm gonna have to bail Atreus out of jail. You guys realize that, right? Like he's gonna get locked up or something.
Yeah. They're gonna get locked up.
Only allowed bail. Like he's black. Like
$1,000.
Well, speaking of locked up and black, we're also gonna talk about the Cenat riots in New York City. I thought that was actually
What the fuck? Hey, yo!
that was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, Jay. The deviancy has gotten worse since you last met us.
You deserve some gifted subs for that one, sir. But that was a good one. Motherfucker said, speaking of locked up in black. Holy.
Sounds like the name for an adult film. Now you think about
Detroit.
It does sound like a porn parody. Locked up in black, 100%.
Carry on. Be right back. My dude.
Yeah. Go ahead. No problem. So let's do our intros. It's all good. We got to do our intros anyway. We're gonna start with good old Atreus. Take it away, my good sir.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Atreus. No, my voice is not recovered from last Saturday from the throat abuse that I took from raging about invasion.
What?
Did it go deep, Atreus?
Yeah, you said
Oh God, it gets worse and worse as the minutes go on. Worse and worse.
I will not say anything. I will control
Why is your
myself.
throat sore, Atreus?
Ryan is just looking to start fires with a train.
If I didn't know any better, I would say Atreus is frozen, but he's not. He's just
His throat was treated like a bonus hole.
he's contemplating why he didn't say pause.
Praise. We need
So
to
yeah,
run this-
so we go live from 5 to 8 p.m. every day, talking all types of shit, reacting to the movies, reacting to the news, reacting to the politics, the pop cultures, all of it, the video games, all of it. We just try to have fun. We're roaring towards 6K subs by September 9th. Remember, we got a bet going on. If we get to 6K by September.
Wow. Wow. It's rough out there in the streets, man.
By September 9th, I will be wearing clown makeup for a full week on stream. So,
whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be good.
I think you got this, though. I think you got this.
Oh, man.
All right, so we also got Mr. Leon Idol, man. Apparently, we didn't give him enough spirit energy for his tournament, man. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Like, yeah, if you guys didn't know, I almost didn't make it on the show today. I was at the last regional qualifier for Magic the Gathering. I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to get the regionals in December. I'm going to go to Atlanta. I'm going to clean up. Yo, no, it didn't happen. Your boy washed out hard. I came in, I was 32 people. I came in like 16th.
Did you at least lose to an Asian kid?
No, man, not even one single Asian. Like it was really it bummed me out. I was really hoping to get to show them that us whites are superior at this game, and it didn't work. No Asians.
You know you lying.
Like,
Hopefully you didn't lose to a black man.
Oh,
that's
God,
even
no,
worse.
no. We beat the hell. No, haven't you heard that black people play Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, whites guard the doors at Magic tournaments. Be like, no blacks allowed. Magic the Gathering was a white man game.
No black
magic. Go play Yu-Gi-Oh, you simpletons. No,
no. You should have said Neanderthals. That really would have been
came in like 16th place out of 32. So here's the only remedy. Here's how you guys are gonna make me feel better. You're gonna go subscribe to Words of Paradise. And you're going to help my broken heart because I did not do well today. Although I did get a lot of really good footage interviewing some semi-pro and even one pro Magic player and some game shop owners about the state of modern Magic. So I get to put edit together a really cool video for Monday about the state of Magic the Gathering in 2023 and how the Lord of the Rings set has kind of changed everything. So if you're into that sort of thing, if you want to know about that, look forward to that video Monday. It's going to be a different type of video than I normally do, but I'm very excited to do it.
Word. Good stuff, man. All right, we got our famous Rage Cage, Cloak Classic Cage. What's up? Ziggy!
What's up, guys? Ziggy says hi.
I can't.
Ziggy.
Yes.
So good.
I am Cult Classic Cage, and this is Ziglord. I'm also Rage Cage, and if I had to choose an intro song to a WWF theme that I would be walking out to, it would obviously be Hat to the Back by TLC. Yeah, I feel like that's such an appropriate... Just think of it in your mind as I'm speaking. And yeah, man, I'm celebrating the fact that Anita Sarkeesian's company, Feminist Frequency, went up in fucking flames. Fuck that bitch. And I'm hoping that with time we can repair gaming and actually get to a place where social political ideology isn't forced into everything. At least with my hobbies. So it's good to be here. I talk about games on my YouTube channel, Cult Classic Cage, as well as Kick. And yeah, just happy to be here and hang out with you guys this Saturday evening.
Facts. Guys, he's been killing it on Kick. Keep it up. Jay, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Got my mouth full of food.
Oh, full of what?
Jay, obviously everybody knows who you are, but tell them who you are, where to find you.
Excuse me. Thanks for throwing me out there. Everything
You're welcome.
Drunk3po. You can find me on Kick, not on Twitch anymore, YouTube.
Woo.
And if I could promote for those out there that want something a little different than pop culture, I also run a history channel called History of Pirates. So
nice.
That's like a.
That sounds
me and a few other people run that, and it's totally different than anything I do anywhere else. So we make like little mini documentaries and stuff. We have a great time over there. So something a little different. Excuse me while I choke down this burger.
Oh my!
Oh, all good. It's all good, man. Welcome. Thank you again for joining us. We also got Dragon Slayer commentaries. Take it away, my good friend.
I mean, I'm Dragon Slayer from Dragon Slayer Commentaries. Everybody knows that. People know me as the Crazy Dragon. The racists know me as the Grand Dragon Wizard for some reason, even though I didn't willingly take that title. It was kind of just given to me. So I guess thanks for the honorary title. But
You're welcome.
Damn you, you fucking Brit. You always got to give me titles that I don't want. So typical of your people. Anyway, so I make funny and informative videos on the state of Hollywood's excrement that they call movies and TV shows. And I do add some comedic parts to it so that people understand why we are always so angry and complaining about the bullshit that we're being forced to watch by entitled writers. That's what I do. Let's enjoy the stream, okay?
Good stuff. Good stuff. And we got that girl Casey finally returning to us after a hiatus.
She returned.
She went into exile and came back.
Yes.
She was not race swapped, so that's good.
Yes. My goodness. Thank goodness.
Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My computer like blacked out for a second, and I was about to start crying.
Computer
What's up,
blacked
everybody?
out.
What'd you say?
Nothing. Go for it.
First of all, fuck you, Hypnotic.
Black joke, huh? Yo, listen, I am so happy to be back. It's been so long since I hung out with y'all. So, oh my gosh, I've been doing some stuff behind the scenes, getting into some different things. But I'm back and I'm moving some things around in my studio, the living room. But I'm back. I'm happy to be with you guys. Y'all can check me out at That Girl Casey. There'll be more to come. I haven't been uploading as much as I used to, but I'm getting back on track with everything.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Glad to have you back, Casey. And our local racist Klansman, Ryan Roger Athay. Take it away, sir.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. It's great to be back on the Hypno Show with my favorite African Americans, Atreus, the one I like to tease,
Jesus
and
fucking
Casey,
Christ.
the one who I always enjoy being around. So it's great to be here, folks, and hopefully we all have a great time making pop culture great again, one creator at a time. Why? Because the truth, no, he's not. He's Spanish. He's white. He's European. And all Latinos are white, not black. That's why I like being around them. Because the truth is reality-based. So here's to a great show.
Amazing.
The fact he said my favorite black people.
African Americans. Atreus, the African American.
You can say black
that'll make it
I am
better.
not African. You can say black people or black American. I'm American.
Technically, Casey is Asian.
Yeah, bro. Casey got ticked off. Facts. He didn't say American after African American.
Nah, don't know African. Just American.
I'm
And for
African
the
American.
best one of all of us, the coach MC. Take it away, sir.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, panel. Thank you so much, Hypnotic. Welcome, everybody in the chat. Welcome to the 50th round of the Matrix against the National Official Ethic Committee of Great Entertainment, comic books, mythology, some history, and a big spark of insanity. Let's admit it. My name is the coach, and I'm host of the Coach MC Studio. You can find me on YouTube, and what you can see on my channel is basically creativity going mad and branching out in all sorts and types of elements. We're talking about acting on my channel, acting tips, mindset tips, like career strategy tips on how to navigate this crazy, wacky, beautiful business called entertainment industry. And it's not just Hollywood. Entertainment happens in our heart, in our mind. We can create entertainment for a vast audience without the need of the Matrix to hire us or, to shove down our throat any dubious content that we don't like to, swallow like bananas. So the thing about, why we're here tonight is pretty easy. We're here to help. We're here to help you guys. We're helping each other out, but also we are helping the good God and universe out to not give up on humanity, to not give up on the strength of creativity, to not give up on the passion that we all carry inside of our heart, to let it out and to also spark your mind and your heart. So leave a lot of likes, leave a lot of comments, leave a lot of subscriptions. Thank you so much, my dear tongue. And judge us voluntarily, involuntarily, do whatever you want, but stick with us, because over here you get the truth, you get honesty, you get great entertainment in your face, you get some racism, but overall we are like funny people. And I'd like to welcome all students of creativity to the Coach MC studio as well, and to this incredible, impeccable panel. Thank you so much for having us.
Shout out Big Bag Lizzo, them bananas, baby.
Looking crispy,
you guys wait
and
till
that
after
shirt
finish
is
eating?
bright like your personality. You love it.
Nah, Jay, here there's no rules for that.
Lizzo's
No
a
rules.
pig.
Hypnotic.
Oh,
Who is
I'm
Bologna?
surprised Lizzo Weinstein is not on the tally.
Lizzo Weinstein? Damn,
Nah,
we're
dude,
just going straight
I'm
to
taking
it.
Lizzo's side on this one.
Oh,
Like,
that's
this all happened in Amsterdam. If you're in Amsterdam and your boss tells you eat that snatch banana, you eat that goddamn snatch banana. Like,
I feel like this has happened to you before, Leon.
it happened to Leona. It happened to Leona.
Casey, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I forgot how this was. I'm gonna have to fight for my rights to speak. Okay, no. Who's the
What?
Bologna Tempo? How they know who you are? They said you were a midget porn star. How did they know that was you?
I don't know, man.
Damn,
I
that's
don't
a
know.
good question.
They found out.
Yeah, he's
They
called
found
the
out my
Max Ho
profession.
Midget.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough out there in these
I ain't
streets,
gonna
man.
bounce you
I'm telling you.
like that on
It is.
Why do you think I call him the masked hoe all the time? It's because of this shit, man. He keeps his top secret though.
Absolutely. You have to.
Yeah.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you everybody for joining us tonight on episode 50. It's very special milestone episode. And not only that, I mean, we're 2 episodes away from a year. It's pretty nuts that we've been around for this long, and the bigotry has been around for this long. So I consider it I guess I consider it a blessing every week if the channel's still around to be able to do another show.
Yeah, I thought you'd be taken down by now.
I don't doubt that at all. It'll happen eventually, but we have our fun and enjoy it while it's here. So, like I said, we got a lot of topics tonight. But we're gonna start off with Jay because I want to talk to Jay about his book, man. I want to see how it's been since the release, how it feels to have a successful book and everything. I don't have one, so I would like to know, man, how's that going, Jay? How's everything going with that?
I think we're down to the last 12 to ship out of so many. So it's kind of and that's primarily my fault because I went to the fulfillment center to autograph some stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a box of bookmarks that I totally forgot to sign. So they had to ship them over to me. And then I had to ship them back. And then it's like the last 15 or 12 books for them to that's funny. Last 15 to ship out. But it's been an incredible journey. Excuse me, I just finished dinner. Just kind of woofed it down. Thanks, Hypnotic. And
You're welcome.
I didn't expect to be like where it was, honestly. We were hoping to do like $10,000 in sales and donate a couple books and maybe a little bit of money to some charities that help kids with books, comic books and stuff like that. So the fact that it exploded to over 100,000, that was like kind of crazy. And then I was very excited for the second one, and that there was actually people creating content for the younger audience, because it seems like that's kind of getting skipped over, I guess, because and I totally get it, I totally get it. So that's been pretty awesome to see, like, hey, look, my son loves your book, my daughter's reading it, things like that. I'm getting emails like that all the time. So it's very humbling. It's very humbling. And so because of the success of the first one, we've already started, like, the second one's on its way. We'll probably be launching that early next year, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens again. It's a 4-part, 4 to 5. I could end the book in 4 books, or I can do the 5th one. So we'll just see how it goes.
5. It's always a great number.
I mean, it's all about interest, like we launched the second one and it's like, yeah, you did the first one, but I don't want the second one. Then it's like, then we would just close it up early. But if they keep doing more and more and better, then off we go, it's off to the races. I'm just really overwhelmed by the support, and because we just, for some reason, like all of us sat back. We're like, it's the genre that most people, if you don't have kids or anything, you probably wouldn't buy the book. If you don't, have anybody younger, you probably wouldn't buy it. But to see that adults are enjoying the story as well, and that it's just something different than what we've been getting from any comic book or graphic novel or anything else. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, thank you. And then we also did and I was hoping to get like 15 or 20. When I started, people would buy like 20 donation books, and my local Boys and Girls Club were gonna get some. And there was a couple schools, because I used to be a school teacher, that wanted them. I was gonna send them out as well, but we did like 500 donated.
Wow,
books. So that's pretty crazy.
That's awesome.
That people came
That's
in and
amazing,
bought a book for themselves and then wanted to donate. And so we were able to send some money to Comic Book for Kids. That's an organization that gets comic books for kids that are in like terminal care. So, and it was pretty cool that, I spoke to them on the phone for some time, and it was like a lot of the stuff coming out from Marvel and stuff now are not appropriate for the little guy, little girl, little guy, from all the crazy stuff that they're putting in these comic books, like all the stuff. And he's like, yeah, you just don't want to put that in kids' face. So they were very appreciative that they got a ton of books coming their way to get to a younger audience. So all that stuff has just been very rewarding to know, because I didn't know, I didn't know what was going to happen. So
when did you start writing? I'm curious, because I'm in my second draft for my book. Hopefully it's going to come out this year by Christmas. So I know the struggle and finding it, but how did it start? When did it start?
I was a fifth grade teacher in the classroom for a little while, and I just kept seeing these young people, and I know it's such a weird age, but I kept seeing these young people like live life without purpose or value. And they just kept saying, like, if I'm not a celebrity, or if I'm not rich, or if I don't have a big social following or whatever, I have no purpose or value. And so I was like, how could I create like some short stories that could possibly showcase a younger audience and maybe help them understand that you don't have to be famous or be perfect or have it all together to have a purpose or value in the world that you live in.
Nice.
So the other person that helped me write, his name is Andrew, and it was like, what would the world look like for someone or a child that doesn't have any value or purpose? We figured it'd be just like a colorless world. I live in a colorless world, and what would happen if they started to discover
color?
Like a color. Like how would the world look different? How would it look
like
different
blue.
in their eyes?
Oh,
yeah. Well, blue was the first one. Yeah. So so we went with that story, and John is the star of this book, and he discovers the color blue, and it takes him on adventures where he learns purpose and value, and the story it ends on a cliffhanger, and we're gonna go to the next one. So
very cool, man.
well, I've never written a book, and Atreus has never read one, so this is a very interesting experience.
Yeah.
Hey, just so you're aware, Ryan and Atreus, they just go back and forth nonstop. Like the racial jokes, it's all streamed. So
it's automatic because he's a Brit, and the other one's
he's
black.
He's always bitter because he's starting to literally match the color of his clans.
Now for 5 minutes we had a serious
He's
that
goddamn. We had a super motivational story, and then Ryan just had to God damn it, Ryan. This is why I got to utilize the mute button more. But no, I do have a question. So when it comes to, with your book, the one cool thing is that, like you said, you're trying to reach an audience that a lot of people tend to overstep or overlook. And I think one of the coolest things is seeing your, I guess you want to call them reviews. It's basically like people taking pictures with the book and explaining like their experience with it. I know you repost it on Twitter. Like how is that for you? Is that probably the most rewarding thing for you?
Man, it's awesome. And people, there's been a lot of YouTube reviews too that I try to watch, and they've been very, and I welcome criticism. I welcome it. I'm not one of those. I'm not gonna go cry in the corner or say, like, you hurt my feelings with that. How dare you? Like, none of that stuff. So it was like some of those people are it was awesome to get their constructive criticism. One of them was really funny. Like this guy was like, "Hey, I'm over 50, so I know this book isn't meant for me, but here's my review, and I really enjoyed it. But here's my criticisms and stuff like that." So, but the crazy thing is, like, I made a ton of mistakes on this whole journey, and I probably spent more money than I should on just things I didn't need. And there's just a whole amazing community of people, such as Eric July and others, that were just a phone call away and just were like, yeah, do it like this, don't do it like this, try to do it like this, try to do it like this. And it was awesome. So it's like coming around for the second one, we're going to do things a little bit different, a lot better, you know, and be prepared. But I think the biggest victory, one of the biggest victories for me personally, was a lot of people were telling me about these horror stories where they do these Indiegogo projects and people don't get their product for like 3 years, 4 years, or sometimes they don't get it at all. Like people just take the money and run. So I was fortunate enough to be able to pay up front, you know, make sure like everything was finished. And I got a couple of copies of the book early so I could literally show people, hey, like it's a real thing. It's going to happen. And then to finish the campaign April and then have it shipped out by June and July, it was pretty awesome. So even though some people are still getting it, but yeah, so it's like being able to fulfill it early was great. Like that was a great feeling, and having people in their hand, whether they loved it or hated it, it's all good. Like I just appreciate all the support. It was really overwhelming, honestly. So
now in the beginning, I saw that you were getting also a little bit of hate too from the people that you would expect, you know, it to come from. Has that simmered down, or are they still like, you know, like with Eric July, they're like, oh, the book doesn't exist. Then it's the warehouse doesn't exist. Then it's like, you know, the goalpost moving thing, right? Like, have you experienced that, or have they basically give up?
When I first launched the book, Gina Carano retweeted it, right? Wow. She didn't have to do that, but she shared it on all her socials. You know, she's got millions of followers and stuff. And that just really brought like people from all over from all over. And some of the worst things that these people have done is they've tried to call like because I had mentioned it over and over, I'm going to give this to boys and girls clubs. They've called like the local boys and girls clubs and said, don't take this, you know, alt-right propaganda that this person wants.
Seriously?
So, oh yeah,
I'm not surprised.
I didn't see that.
I was going to do that. I had this whole thing set up where it was like once the book was done, I was going to record myself driving to different places and dropping stuff off. And it was like I canceled all that. Like I don't want, because you know, some people that aren't used to that kind of stuff, it would be like, what the heck is all, you know what I mean? It's like, why are
every time you think they hit rock bottom, there's always a step further down.
Yeah, so it was like, all right, so we'll do it a little differently. And then like it got, once it was launched, people were like, the artwork sucks, the story's probably stolen, this guy probably needs money, that's why he's selling a book that'll probably never exist. And you know, it just went on and on for about a month. And I remember Eric July calling me and he goes, all right, Jay, you got two things you could do. You can hit it head on like I do, or you can just ignore it and just get to work. And I'm like, I'm just gonna ignore it, man, because I've got so much to do, and I don't want to mess this up. So it's like I was like really nervous, and so then we after it was silent until it hit $100,000. And once it hit $100,000, it was like they came out of the woodwork like crazy. Like
cockroaches and tranny demons.
It was awful for a while. Like they were.
How much of it do you think is pure jealousy, and how much of it do you think is envy? I mean, like, do you just think that they wish that they could do what you guys are doing, or do they not care about doing what you guys are doing and just want to hate you just for being successful?
I'm sure it's part of it. I just think there are miserable people that want people to fail and be miserable like them. So
because they failed, probably.
It's
at
like,
this point,
yeah,
doesn't just love company. At this point, it's like a necessity.
Right.
Yeah, it's a whole birds of a feather flock together. So it's like I'm miserable. I hate life. This person is successful or doing something. It's like, yeah,
that was incredibly offensive, Jay.
Birdie.
Yeah, but if you're happy, then birds of a feather, it can work every way. That's all I'm saying. I honestly don't know. I don't talk about these people. I don't. That's just not who I am. Like I don't like. there's no, I don't do what Ripa does or some others, like go after your haters and all that stuff. I could laugh at
that's
them
a
from
black
time to time,
thing.
but it's like I just don't. That's just not me.
What?
Like I just don't do it. And I'm just like, man, you don't even know me. You don't know what's going on. Like right now, the big thing is that the donation books was a scam, and
that blew my mind when I saw that. I couldn't believe that they were actually trying to say the donation books were a scam.
Yeah, and so and I'm like,
But
we gave a few $1,000s to like these charities, and it's like we got a couple more coming, some more coming once like we finish out all the shipping stuff going. So it's like, but it the thing is, it's like even if I donated 100% of the profits, and to charity, and I shared it on Twitter, it still wouldn't be good enough for these people. So like for me, I'm like, that's why I just don't even. I just don't even get involved in it, because it's like there was nothing. They live in such a terrible mindset and so below whatever. Like there was nothing that is good enough for them, because like you said, like the goalpost move. So it's like it's a scam. He never gave money. Well, here's the receipt. Here's my tax donation receipt.
Yeah.
No, you only gave that much. That's it.
Yeah, right.
How terrible. It's like, well,
Enjoy
honestly, I didn't have to give any. So, but it's like
it's the people who give zero who are always questioning how much you give.
True.
Yeah.
And then they were like, it's funny because like they were going, like when the whole charity thing was going off, it was like he's probably never given the charity in his life. He's probably never done anything good in his life. And I'm like, Ruddy, I lived in Haiti for 3 years building schools and orphanages. There's
You're still alive?
everywhere on all my socials.
No. You lived in Haiti for 3
My
years.
God.
God bless you. That is so beautiful. You were building schools and stuff over there.
I even speak the language because I studied.
So you speak Creole?
You speak Creole?
We parle Creole.
Oh, vous parlez Creole? Vous êtes un blanc parler Creole?
Yeah, no, c'est haïtien, moi, but I'm American.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else very confused right now?
Black and French. My goodness.
I had to learn Creole because I would go to the market and I'd be like, "Combi, all right."
Look at Atreus's face. He's shocked right now. A white dude speaking Creole. He's like, I feel so uncomfortable.
She might be the only one that understands that, because I would go to the market.
He's speaking French niggle. What?
Oh my God!
I would be like,
I am British and I'm white.
Let him finish.
Let him speak.
People always interrupt, but they're still cheering for the redcoats. Anyway, I would go to the marketplace and I'd be like, "Combien on melon?" And they'd be like, "Oh, blanc pour 20." And I'm like, "No, I'm saying Haitian." They're like, "Okay, blanc parle Creole, okay, pour." They'd say like $5 or $6. Basically, what I said was I had to learn the language because I would show up in the marketplace and I was buying food for the orphans and stuff. Yeah. And they would see me as a white guy and they would charge me more. They give me the white price. And so I'd have to learn the language. I was like, "No, I understand what you're saying." And they were like, "Oh, okay, he speaks Creole. Give him the Haitian price."
You're like, I gotta buy food for the orphans. Like, give this man a fucking halo, okay?
It's
the same thing in Mexico, man. I get it.
It's the same thing in Miami. If you're white, they're charging you double.
Well, the best thing is like there's a lot of Haitians at work because I run the theme park channel for Geeks and Gamers. There's a lot of Haitians that work at Disney and Universal. And so I can hear them like when they're mad and complaining about their job because they think that nobody understands what they're saying. And I just walk up. I'm like, "Hey, be careful. Us white people are learning the language now." And they're like,
I was my grandfather, and that happened. There was some dude
you just ruined their
about America.
Y'all gotta let one person at a time.
That's funny,
so
man.
Funny. I love it. But yeah, I mean, right now, like last year, the Drunk3po channel, we raised enough money through, and I gave a lot of my and my members know this because in my Discord we share this with my members. We raised enough money that we built an orphanage in El Salvador, and we finished the project and got these kids off the street and they're going to school now. And now we're doing the same thing in Mexico. We're building a special needs home in Mexico. And the building is done now. We just have to furnish it with like wheelchairs and special bedding and stuff like that. And all that stuff has always been on my Instagram and socials and stuff. I try not to talk about it because I don't want to be that guy. It's like, "Hey, look at me. I'm a good person. Like, give me praise." It just kind of got leaked out one time because I was trying to keep it quiet, and it was like, "Jay, where are you going?" I'm like, I'm I'm just going somewhere, and it just and I didn't want it, but I was like, you know what? If people know that this is what I do, it's like they can be a part of it if they want to. But yeah, it's like no one's special, man. No one's special. That's why I don't want to bring it up, because people are like, oh,
No,
you
we
need to hate
should
us.
bring it up.
No, you should put it out there because it's good causes. Like it doesn't come off as long as you're like you seem like a real genuine type of individual. So it's not like, hey, look at me, the good stuff I'm doing. It's like, hey, I'm doing all this. I'm spreading the word so that you guys can help if you have that need be. There are people out there that are far less well off, and if you have the resources or the ability to also help, then this is an avenue. This is somewhere you can go to do so. Look at what I'm doing. You can contribute as well, and we can make the world better.
Plus, it gives hope. It gives hope to people that there are people like you out there, right? That we're not completely alone and lost.
Well, there's other people doing like the real like nose to the ground. I'm kind of like more of a spokesperson at this point, to where it's like, hey, if you want to help, here's the organization. Like, here we go. But I end up going as well because God's blessed me for the past few years, able to do some stuff. Like even my merch, like shout out to 9 Line Apparel that runs my merch. So it's like if you buy some of my merch from 9 Line Apparel, that some of the monies goes to their 9 Line Foundation that builds homes for veterans. So like veterans in this country that that need down on their luck or something happened, they can go there and be get back on their feet. So it's an awesome thing that they do.
I like how people say they talk about marginalized community all the time, but they never speak about veterans, which I really feel like that particular community is really suffering, and they never speak about it. Not really,
because
because
to know why though? It's because it's actually
no,
quite
Dragon,
simple.
quiet.
No,
Sure.
like the reason I'll be quick on it. The reason is
No such thing.
because number one, oh my God, Hypno, come on, you bastard.
Nah, he ain't lying, Dragon.
No, seriously, like
no wonder progressives hate you, Jay. That's all I'll say. You're a truly
I don't know.
virtuous
Yeah, I
person.
don't want no praise. Like, let's just get back and make fun of some of these people. So
yeah, we are. We're gonna get into the topic, but go ahead, Slayer. Say what you're gonna say.
No, I was gonna say, like, when it comes to veterans, the reason these people don't care about them or don't speak about them is because they are out there actually protecting the fucktards who literally hate them. Like, they hate the people that protect them. And on top of that, I would like to use a quote that I think it was Chris Rock made years ago on one of his comedy shows, and that is women and children and the elderly get unconditional love. Men are treated like dogs and only get that love if they do something worthwhile. Yet sometimes I don't see that because I believe veterans are doing something worthwhile, which is protecting people, yet nobody cares about them. It's unfortunate. And you know what? I'm glad that you're supporting that kind of foundation, because those people really deserve a lot more respect and care. And a lot of them just want to get back up on their feet and just go about their lives in peace.
Facts.
That's it.
Yeah, I just want to say
that wasn't quick though. You lied. Go ahead, Atreus.
Oh, well.
That was pretty good.
I just want to say shout out to Drunk3po for doing all of that. But I just want my followers to know, don't expect none of that from me. All the money you give to me, all the money you give to me is going to be spent on gold chains.
That's
and
what's
gold
up.
So
what a hood ninja, honest to the end.
I love it.
I respect that though. Casey, go ahead.
Let me just say real quick, Jay, I get it. You're like, nah, I want everybody to know everything. But you know what? I think it's good that people know, because we've been talking about parallel economies for a while. And I feel like we are, like, the pendulum is swinging. And to hear, first of all, like, your book and everything you're doing with that. But not only does this parallel economy swing to, like, change the culture, but it helps, like, globally, like, it's like, it's just a blessing, right? And that's what it's supposed to be, because if you think about it, when the left or whatever, progressives, whatever you want to call it, when they get their money and then they move their money into whatever organization, it's always a lot of times something to indoctrinate a kid into doing something else, or pushing some agenda, the Trevor Project or something like that. So you see what the parallel economy, what free thinkers, it's not just about, I'm going to make this money giving you something different, but you're also putting things into play that's helping people. Like, El Salvador, that's good. God is good. And I can see this pendulum is swinging. It's happening. And this is just very inspirational to listen to.
I agree.
So I want to piggyback off that because that's a good segue into our first topic. So speaking of pendulum swinging, so this is big news, and this is not like normally I just cover this in a video and not talk about it on stream, but I figured since why not? It's huge, man. Like Leah Thomas apparently has been banned from competing against women as swimming cracks down on transgender athletes as a whole. Apparently now their rule is that if they reached male puberty at all in any capacity, that they are not allowed to compete against women. I have my little conspiracy about this, but I just wanted to get your guys' take on it before I, go down the rabbit hole. Obviously, I think it's a good thing, but go ahead, shoot.
It sounds to me like they're wanting people to fucking transition before hitting puberty.
Right.
God damn it, man! You fucking took my conspiracy. I give up.
You
had
were
to know we
thinking
was
it,
all
though.
thinking that.
We're all a hive mind with this shit. We all know what the other's gonna say about this issue because it's just it's the obvious step, especially with this title. I mean, what terrifies me the most about this is that when you guys were in the Twitter chat, I may have sent like a link to a video I was watching while I was at work of like a detransitioner who basically said her horror story of how they just get these people early on, get them on these meds. They literally just walk into the clinic and they tell the doctor, yeah, I think I may have some gender dysphoria or some mental issues. And they literally immediately when they hear those keywords, they're like, oh yeah, you're trans. You actually are. You may look like a boy, but you're actually a girl. Here, I'm gonna give you this prescription. Go to the doctor in a few days or so. Go get your prescription on hormones and start taking that shit. And then and it's all a money sink. It's all and it creates this endless machine, a new endless source of revenue for the medical industry. And no, this is not a conspiracy. This is obviously the creation of a new business enterprise that is currently worth billions of dollars.
Tranny money, tranny economy.
But does it piss anyone else off how Leah Thomas spells his name? Like, we all know the correct spelling is L-E-H-A. You're not fucking Japanese. Enough of that L-I-A bullshit.
Yeah. I mean...
Wait, what? For existing.
Yeah, like
That's
the way...
good.
I mean...
I saw that. I saw this development years ago when we, because we are analyzing scripts for Hollywood and helping actors out, for their self-tape auditions, for their castings, and also kind of chemistry readings and directors' readings and all that. And so we were already like very concerned, like before this whole woke thing like really exploded in our face and was pretty blatant and obvious, that there was this radicalization of the dialogue between man and female going on, right? That it was more and more antagonistic. Like even if there were lovers in the movies, in the movie itself, or in the pilot that they were shooting, or even in the audition, like in the scene, it was increasingly getting to a confrontation. And yes, acting is about conflicts and confrontation and drama, but it was a confrontation on competing against each other, not a confrontation on values, on moral standpoints, on their respective backgrounds, why they are against certain things or for certain things, and kind of resolving that during the plot line. No, it was about militarizing the woman the whole time. And I feel this is the exact same thing. They want man and female constantly fight and compete against each other, right? Not about values, about sex, about all this stuff, right? That is given, but now we are fighting about fundamental and granular things of our own existence. And this is great because as long as the ants fight, right, the big bugs, they control the ecosystem.
Like this picture speaks volumes, by the way.
Oh
Yes, it
yeah,
does.
like
Look at that face.
He looks like Andrew Garfield.
He got more of a muscular face when he went to a woman versus a man, which is interesting.
How?
A little strange. I don't know how. That's just how it works out.
Like, look at those facial muscles. They got definition. What the fuck?
Yeah, he gained a jaw.
This creature, I don't like this tranny demon because of this tranny demon, I got a community guideline strike for calling a tranny demon a fucking man. It's not a fucking man. It's a creature. It is a tranny demon creature, and the sooner it detrannies, the better.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Well, now that he can't compete, though, he probably will, because he didn't do anything to become this. I mean, this takes just a fucking wig
He grew his
and
hair out.
No,
I mean,
nah,
grow
man,
the
what
hair
do you mean?
out.
It's not nothing.
No.
Wear women's clothes.
I don't think
mean,
he
that makes
cares
him a
about-
woman, right?
I don't think he cares about going back to compete. Come on, how much money you probably think like he's probably getting from being sponsored to be the face of this controversy? It's like Colin Kaepernick, who always puts out these videos like, "Yeah, I'm training again. I'm gonna go to the NFL." Y'all not trying to get back in the game. Y'all get more money from being the face of whatever the conflict is. This boy knew that he was not a good swimmer, period, right? So whatever he had to do, now he has attention. He'll make more money being a controversy. You know what I mean? Like a talked about person.
Right.
So no,
That's like a profession. It has become a profession. I agree with you on that. Like being a controversy, is now like a profession. Oh, I can make money just by standing in the middle of two opposite kind of belief systems. That's beautiful. Let me be the friction zone of your fucking rants, and I get money out of it. But the problem is that these people, they will lose their identity, their culture, and their the spirituality in the process, just to kind of make some money. I mean, we know that people are always, not all of the people, I mean, but a lot of people are, of course, because of their situation, of their background, of their whatever they are facing in life, they are ready to trade some money against some spirituality. But if it goes to to the point where you actually change your biological disposition just to make some dollars, I mean,
that's extreme.
I mean,
my question too, just real quick. My question: so, if he's banned right from sports now, does he give back the trophies that he won off the backs of women's? No, right? He keeps everything.
He keeps everything. They're not going to take his trophies. That's going to be another
Did you guys-
controversy.
That's going to be the next thing that they fight for,
That's
though. They're
gonna
going to
be
fight to get his
controversy,
trophies
right,
removed. He went down specifically for two women. I forgot the name of the other one, but I think one is Riley Gaines or something like that. He
Yeah,
went
Riley
down specifically because of the testimony of two women when they had this whole actual like meeting or whatever. Like
all of something in Riley Gaines.
yeah. Like those two women are the reason why I truly believe like that's what broke everything. Like because the banning came shortly after that actual conference with those two women in their testimonies. So
but they had to take
I
it
saw
all
this
back.
article where Riley Gaines was talking, and the article headline was like, Riley Gaines talks about being uncomfortable in the dressing room with Leah Thomas's banana. And this is right as the Lizzo stuff was happening. I'm like, what the fuck is the media's obsession with potassium right now?
and they were obsessed with like the size of his shit too. They were like, "Oh, she won't talk about how big it was. We asked her 5 times. Like, why does that? What does that even matter?"
So
one time for each half inch.
Like,
oh my god.
I mean, from the door. I remember when this was happening, and I made a video about it. This was, I think, last year. Was it last year? Yeah.
Last April. I remember. I got a strike from it.
And I was telling people, like, you better, especially Black folk, this particular video, I was like, your daughters, they get the track scholarships. These boys are going to come, and they're not men, right? They're kooks. Anybody who acts like this has a borderline personality disorder that is out of this world. And they're going to come and take it away from your daughter. And that was also around the time when that Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown was talking, I can't define a woman. And I'm like, this is the lady who's going to listen to cases and make decisions, but she can't define what a woman is.
And by the way, Black women are going through that right now. I've been covering that. I got 2 videos right now talking about that. Black women at war with the
tranny demons.
Yeah, just
thank you, Ryan.
He was trying not to say it.
They're a little late to the game, but yeah.
But you see, this is the headlines they choose to run. Isn't that crazy? Like you rather run this headline than run the fact that she got banned, because they don't want to talk about him getting banned, right? They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to acknowledge it. That's not something you're not gonna see mainstream news talking about it heavily. But they'll run this article though. They'll run this about how Riley Gaines in an interview. I forgot who she was interviewing with. It was some fucking guy everybody hates. Forgot his name. Bill Maher. And Bill Maher was repeatedly asking Riley Gaines about that, and it's like you're choosing to talk about that, like you're a psychopath. You know what I mean? It's just it's ridiculous.
Didn't she
Now,
say that she got
in his
assaulted
defense,
or
I will
something?
say
Like
Bill
as well?
Maher he's a comedian first and foremost, so he probably had some
Yeah.
jokes to go along with it, like to get her to say something so he could spit out some jokes. Because he's been a comedian for like 50 years now. Now whether you like his comedy or not, I mean that's up for debate. But there was probably some built-in comments he had already planned if he could get her to answer.
Right.
Yeah, but even comedian, I understand that, but like, you know, for a serious topic like that, especially from a woman that I think I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't she the one that said in the testimony
No, that was
video that you
Paula.
showed? Yeah, that she was a victim of SA, basically.
No, that was Paula. No, that,
it was
that
Paula.
wasn't Riley
Okay,
Gann.
okay.
Yeah, it was
Oh, the whole thing is
okay.
essay. Like,
okay, gotcha.
I
Yeah.
don't even, and I remember Eric July, he did make a video about this when it was happening. Because they were complaining at first, but they were doing it anonymously. And I was thinking the same thing, like, y'all might as well just come out and say it with your faces, because you're not gonna win. You're competing with a man anyway. You're racing a man. Like, I feel like I would have been like, we should not compete, because don't give him a game.
That's it. I mean, like, I feel like I lived for 6 years in Italy, right? So I know how a corrupt government runs business on an everyday basis, you know, because Italy, being one of the most beautiful countries on this planet, is also one of the most corrupt countries on this planet. And so when you're living in that
More
country,
so than Ukraine?
Yes.
More than Mexico?
Yes. It has the Vatican. That's the answer.
And pizza. And pizza.
You know, the head of the Jesuits. Do you need any more further illustration? It's the most corrupt country on this planet, is Italy, right? So you know exactly where everything starts. And this is why I feel this panel also, like, personally to me, is so important, because nowadays everything is communication. Everything is media. Everything is news. Everything is information. And they rather attack our movies, our entertainment, and our media, because they know through that they can manipulate us psychologically. This is what happens in Italy on an everyday basis, because people in Italy, like in my age, old people, they know that something is completely rotten and wrong and corrupt with this country. But you know what they do? In order to excuse their cognitive dissonance, they just, you know, they show you the newspaper. Oh, the newspaper says everything is fine. The newspaper says this is the real issue. The media coverage says this is the problem. So what is your problem? Just believe in the narrative, right? Go back to sleep, drink some alcohol, do whatever, and forget about what you really feel inside of yourself. And like, people who see this guy coming in, they should listen to themselves and not believe to what they read or see, because that most likely is just an infiltration of the mind to believe a certain narrative that just, you know, serves the elite and not the people.
That's Mexico in a nutshell. Actually, just described it, but with cartels. Just add cartels, and there he goes.
I mean, and that's insane. Here. That's America now. You know, with mainstream news, even local news, yo. They can't even report. Not to digress too hard. They can't even report the weather without lying. Like, it's just so hot outside because
I mean, it's tax.
I did find it pretty funny when they were like, "Oh, it's so hot! It's so hot outside. If you want it to cool down, vote blue." I'm like, "What the fuck? What is that?"
You see.
Hillary Clinton said that. Hillary Clinton.
She blames MAGA weather.
It's so hot outside. We're having record heat, and this is from voting for Republicans. So make sure you vote them out of office. I'm like, are you kidding me? How do you make that correlation? It doesn't. That doesn't even make any fucking sense. But again, that's why I just retweeted it. I'm like, you are the most stupid person I've seen today, and that says a lot. But I'm just gonna go.
I'm glad you said today and not.
Yeah, it's today, because there's always someone who's more stupid the next day. But I'm gonna go over super chats real quick, and then we'll continue the Leah Thomas conversation, because a lot came in, especially for Jay. So we got Bruce Banner for 10 says, a man. Amen. Man, you are clearly shadow blocked. So I just put a personal reminder, 8 p.m. for every Saturday. Shaking my head. Yep. Welcome to my
channel
life,
suppression.
Man.
It's real, folks.
It is what it is. Appreciate you, Bruce Banner. Thank you so much. Mrs. Cannoli Sasquatch for $19.99 says, this is to help you pay Jay. A little token for the kindness you both showed, Cannoli. And yes, that was a pretty epic evening. I was just having a great time. Yeah. Then we
It
got
was 1999 because that was the year that Ryan was born. So
yes,
There you go.
June 22nd, 1999.
There you go.
I'm
She was also
24.
probably doing the 199 thing from Geeks and Gamers. Then you also got GJJ for 20. Says for Jay's pay. Okay, we're just paying Jay tonight. I guess that's great.
Yeah, I guess so.
All good. Royalties from that clip. Thank you, GJJ. I appreciate you. We also got Zombie Box Reviews for 2. Says here's Ryan's pay for the week. This is all he's worth.
The most money I've ever made as a creator.
Now that's pretty accurate, Zombie. Good job. Good job with that one. And also apparently StreamYards is finally showing member chats. God,
yeah,
about damn time. Man.
Wow.
Raven Rainfall, member for 5 months, says thank you for the birthday stream 199. Happy birthday, Raven. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Raven.
199.
Happy birthday.
And we got Bruce Banner Hulk smashing, bro. Hulk smashing. Holy shit.
Holy.
Bruce Banner Hulk smashing for $100. Says you guys have good chemistry, but I'm most excited to be part of this woman. Happy 50th. I'm confused about the ending.
I'm confused. Yeah, that was.
Atreus, could you do that dance for $100?
What? I'm not dancing for you, Klansman.
You just did.
No, I did.
You were dancing. I saw
I was
you.
not dancing. I was swatting away a goddamn gnat. Leave me alone.
Sounds about right. Bruce, thank you, man. Seriously, you've been a heavy supporter of the channel, and I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. That 100 was crazy. Did not have to do that. And then he dropped 2 right after that. Oh, there we go. I meant to say part of this army. Okay, that makes sense. I was a little confused. There you go.
Army.
You didn't have to super chat to fix it, but it's okay. Thank you anyway. I appreciate it.
Goodness.
We got Coach O Dragon, member for 3 months, says greetings, panelists. Oh, hey, it's Jay. Wait, did you have something to do with Winnie the Pooh tripping incident? LOL, JK. Also, your book was amazing.
Thank you.
Very nice. There you go.
I did not. I'm sure that's going to be an issue for me for the next month.
Oh,
Probably.
Yeah, there's going to be. They're going to be.
You gotta admit
conspiracies
though,
about
the
it, Jay.
timing though, the timing about that is
was
ridiculous. Like,
perfect.
think about what are the odds of that actually happening? It happened to you. It happened live, right?
Yeah.
And then you got blamed for it too. It's just crazy, bro. It's
No,
wild.
like the second Winnie the Pooh walks into frame,
Only
bam,
me.
trips immediately.
You can kind of tell Winnie the Pooh. At least it looked like that person was having a great day up until that point.
Yeah.
They hopped
He was
so
so happy.
happily, and then it was just face plant, and then the walk of shame afterwards, which was great.
Bro, imagine if it was their first day at work and they're like, "Oh my god, I get to play Winnie the Pooh."
Yeah.
The face just
I'd be like,
smashes.
"Fuck this shit. I'm done. I can't do this anymore."
They took Winnie the Pooh back, and then
Yeah.
I think they adjusted the costume, and then the person came back. So it
Yeah,
looked like the
man.
back of the costume rode all the way up. You know, on that.
Oh yeah,
wall.
when they fell, yeah, I could tell the back of the head was kind of high.
Pooh came right back out in about 15 minutes, so it looks like they just went to fix it. But man, that crap was funny, man. That was
crazy. Unbelievable. Mike H for 2 says you actually got Jay on this live stream. Yes, apparently.
He's been here
apparently I
before.
did.
Why on this live stream? Is there any
He's
a
been here
sub-
like
moment,
2
like-
times, 3 times previously.
Are we not enough?
Great guy.
Not
I was
prominent
just
enough.
fixing my fan, so.
Jay's milkshake brought me to the yard for 2
Hey.
and says
Damn.
nothing.
Yeah.
Great job, Jay's
The
milkshake.
name is
I got
his
my own
message.
set of Jay's Army out there. With all
I love those meme names,
Hell
bro.
yeah.
Like you guys have a ton of them. Like I think one of them is like adds his wonky eyebrow or some shit like that.
Nice.
It's crazy. We also got Common People for 50, dude.
at
Thank
that.
you so much, bro. You got a cheer. Thank you. It's awesome, man. Says, take my money before this offensive channel is yeeted. Unrelated question. How does one stop simping for a female named Cassie asking for a friend? Trans people are my friends. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
she
just
is trans.
ask Leon because he's failing at it every day. So it's okay. Leon actually said,
She's a beautiful woman.
Leon was like, yeah, Cassie's got the best stream in the world, and I love Cassie's amazing. I'm like, damn, we just laid it on thick there. You know what I mean? Laid it on thick.
Streams.
To be fair,
Yeah.
It also helped me realize I'm attracted to black women. She had Coco on her stream the other day, and I was like, "Oh, that's a fine looking colored girl." Like,
Oh my god.
Imagine Dick riding a woman who looks like a man.
Oh my god. Tomboys lives matter. All day. I'm still trying to figure out. Oh, trans people aren't friends. They're referencing the song. Got it. Okay. And then we got Zombie Box Reviews for 5 says Ryan has gifted Atreus gold chains for being a good slave. Wow. These comments are insane.
Yo,
bro, this
My main
this
mod.
LARP is getting too real. What the
On
hell,
reality
Chad?
based zombie.
Jay's over here like,
Comments.
fuck, I think my detractors were right.
Yeah.
Brutal, man.
That's brutal. That's a brutal one, Zombie. Brutal.
We the baddies.
And we also got KRG with 1 gifted Hypnotic membership. Thank you, KRG. Panther 111 with 1 gifted Hypnotic membership as well. Thank you, Panther 111. And then KRG and Panther looks like they're just having a little war now because they both gifted 1 Hypnotic membership like multiple times after that. So thank you, KRG, Panther 111. You guys are going crazy. I appreciate all of you. All right, I think that's everything. Yeah, that's everything.
A little drawing I'm doing for tonight for everybody.
Yes.
who's gifting.
Nice.
Bro, this is like
Beautiful.
who is
That is sick. Is that like the Goblet of Fire? Is that a reference? So that it's like a Harry Potter thing, or no?
It's not about that, but you're right.
That's what it looks like. Looks like the
That's
Goblet
a
of Fire with the
unicorn.
4 houses.
I know
Yeah.
this is
Something I'm
Ryan,
dreaming about.
and this is
What?
Atreus.
Ryan's a unicorn? What?
Ryan would be a
Ryan is
unicorn.
our unicorn.
No, I'm on the right. I look like
Yes,
a
we
bearded
know.
demon.
Yeah, you look like the white devil. We know. Okay, relax.
Jesus.
All right, let's
I'm
jump
sorry,
back
I
onto
had
the
to
Leah
do that.
Thomas thing. Let's finish that
you
up
know
real
what?
quick.
I played sports in grade school, high school, like basketball, volleyball, and it would be heartbreaking to like compete against a dude in a space that is specifically for women. Like, and I'm glad that they at least get rid of the dudes that are clearly faking it in order to get some form of win out of this cheap win. It really does tarnish the sports for women. It does tarnish winning entirely when you really think about it. And it's it's sad that we even had to go here and that it was even a debate that this dude should be allowed to compete in women's spaces. Women's spaces are important. Like it's one of those things where, like, well, annoying, obnoxious women that hate men's spaces but dip into them to change them. Yeah, they're going to be more enticed to do that if you also destroy their spaces.
Right. This part right here is probably the most worrisome thing because, like Leon said earlier, I feel like this particular event in history is going to be used as a means for people who are on that side that are trying to actively make children transition and take puberty blockers and everything. This is going to be their excuse, right? They're going to be like, oh, well, we can't even let them go through natural puberty because if we do, they're going to have a tough adulthood and they're never going to be able to do XYZ because of all these laws. You guys are attacking trans people, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like now this is going to be an excuse to further push that puberty blockers and whatnot and even like vasectomies and everything on underage kids. Like this is going to be used for that. And I don't know what you guys think, but
I think ultimately the goal is to create an own section so they can even exploit that even more, make more money out of it, right? The own trans section, because they're going to create artificially this ludicrous debate, right? It shouldn't be there in the first place, like Rage said, because it's obvious, right? So they're going to create they're going to blow this up artificially, and then they will come to a fair conclusion that satisfies, all the part, but we have a section that is just dedicated to the trans, like the Paralympics. So, and like, beautiful.
Translympics.
I don't think they want that, Coach. I really don't, because it's about taking yes, it's about taking it away from not only the actual biological women, but there's no notoriety in being number one trans athlete. Like nobody cares about that. But if they argue the entire time and they say, oh, trans women are women, they're real women, 100% real women, and then you let them compete, and now they're the number one woman in the women's sport. Like that just tries to further their argument of trans women being real women. So that's if you take them out and you put them in their own category, their entire argument, their entire argument about trans women or women goes down the gutter. And now they can't say that, because if that was the case, you would be able to compete with real women. That's how this whole thing started in the first place.
Yeah, I was going to say that, because isn't that what technically people been saying from the door? Like, well, let them have their own sports, but it's like, no, they want to be considered real women. And so,
Correct.
like you said, when they these people are sick. This is sadly, it looks like a win, and it's like, okay, yay, there's one good thing that came out of it, okay, but this is really not the win that it seems to look like, because they want to push that puberty blockers on kids as young as possible. I have seen articles talking about intersex babies. We're not talking about hermaphrodites, okay? Because that word is separate from hermaphrodite. And I'm like, well, what is an intersex baby? Oh, the baby has parts of the other gender, but is actually like a girl. So you're picking trans babies. So the younger they can start with that drug, with the Lupron that they'll give them or whatever else. And let me tell you, that drug is so dangerous. Even adults can't handle it, right? The better for them. They want to get this new race of nobodies. I hate them. I mean, that's what it is. They make them null and void. Like, they're making new people. I have no
transhumans.
There's no other way to explain it, because it's so evil. Like, they'll give a 3-year-old this drug that even adults can't deal with it. The side effects from it are so bad that many women have gone off it. There's other reasons why this drug was created, right? But they're giving it to kids. It is a sick and evil thing. And there's a lot of mothers, and I say mothers first because we have to be honest, with borderline Munchausen by proxy. They don't poison their children anymore with pine sol and then get to meet Hillary Clinton and go to Walt Disney for free. No, they have trans kids, and then they're all over Good Morning America and everything, and then they get all these praises. So we are feeding into Munchausen by proxy. There's so much mental health disorder going on in this situation, but if you talk about it, you're the problem. But we have to be talking about it.
The mental health virus.
I think this.
So my question though is, who was speaking?
No, I was just gonna say that, I get you on the whole. Like, we all know that was gonna be an issue. Like, they was gonna try to, make kids take these. But I think it's a little bit of a jaded thing to say that this isn't the victory that we think it is. It's not. Nobody's saying that the war has been won. We obviously know that the war is not over. But I think this is definitely a win, because it tells me at the very least that there's somebody that has a little bit of common sense in high places. And
that's what's up, Patrice. You used the right word with me, jaded. I am very much that way. I don't know. I do believe in hope. I believe like I do.
No, that was funny. It's just so funny.
Like, I mean, like, if it's somebody who I know, if it's one of y'all trying to come with a new policy to do something that makes sense, I believe in it, because I know your character is of people that make sense. What's happening in our world is so cynical, and the way they plan ahead, it is insane. And I'm being in the medical field and watching what's happening too, with a lot of different things. It's just, yeah, I'm pretty jaded. Yeah, you're right.
Well, we have to talk about what is the next step, realistically speaking. This to me is a win. To me, the next step is now making it normal to just acknowledge that, transitioning your child is child abuse. That to me is the next step, which would make that whole only men that only dudes that are biological men that qualify to be able to compete in women's sports. Yeah, well, that would be a result of child abuse. So in a sense, like, when we do manage to accomplish both of these feats, obviously this one we have now, and then acknowledging child abuse when it is indeed happening, essentially eliminate boys competing in women's sports entirely.
And then
you wanted to say something, Jay?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt. There's a
great
great
conversation,
but for me personally, I think
yes, you do need to.
Yeah, I think many of these people suffer from an issue where they've made getting attention their religion, and we have seen this all throughout time, just like you mentioned about putting pine sol in the kids' soup just to get attention. If you just look at the Jazz Jennings situation, her mom got tons of attention, a TV show out of it, and all that, because she was starting this transition for this child at 2 years old. So it's like that to me is like insanity, And so they always are going to try to find different ways to find how they get attention. We've seen like people, like, way back in the day, people would tattoo themselves from head to toe and charge people would pay money to go see what they look like. So and they would get paid and attention and all this stuff. It's just a different form. And right now we're legalizing this craziness because some of those horrific pictures that you see on Twitter where these young people, 10, 11 years old, they cut out like half their skin off their leg. Have you guys seen that?
Yep.
They take the skin off their arm just for that type of surgery. Is like the self-mutilation where they can go on and share photos and be like, hey, look what I did. Look at this. It's it is the crazy new circus that we live in. And once the attention dries up, it's going to go somewhere else.
Right.
It's just how it is, how it's always been. And they'll just find another dragon to slay somewhere else. And it and as long as people,
we're the bad guys, right?
Of course we're the bad guys because we're not saying anything. But if once this stuff, once it shifts over, I mean, it's there'll be something else. But we're seeing it get more extreme and extreme. Someone in the chat says sacrifice their children. People have been sacrificing their children since humans existed.
Have you heard of Planned Parenthood?
Oh,
my good man.
I mean, you go all the way back. They sacrifice their children on the altar of their own god for.
But the Mayans were so right. The world ended in 2012 because this ain't the real world anymore. Like I think the Mayans were onto something when they were sacrificing their kids.
It's the counting of time that is off. It's
and I do agree about like mental health crisis. We're celebrating it instead of treating it. I mean, it just goes back like me growing up. The crazy thing that we saw were young people. They called themselves cutters. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yeah,
it was just like, you'd show up and a kid would have tons of razor blades all over their arm. And most of the people that were cruel to kids were like, you're just doing that for attention because look at all the attention you get. Everybody wants to talk to you. Everybody wants to see if you're okay. Everybody gives you attention. And I'm not saying that all of it was for attention, but it's like, that's what a lot of people suggested. And it wasn't being treated properly. And so I think these people that are lacking, there's got to be a better word than attention, but it's this is how they know how to receive it. Some people get it positively, some people get negatively, but they're still receiving it. And so it hits that whatever pleasure spot in their head, even though it's painful, and that's what they have to do. This is why social media is so popular, because it's like that on a smaller scale. Every time you get a like, every time you get a comment, every time you get a compliment, every time you get that dopamine hit, like it's like I want more likes, I want more views, I want more this on our social media. They built this social media to work this way. Every social media you have has a feature where you can like a picture or give it a thumbs up because they know that's how the human brain works. So it's like, well, if they liked all this, then I'll put more on, I'll put more on, I'll put more on. So usually and then what we're seeing is on a grand scale right now. So with all this stuff going on, I hope it gets treated.
Who was the famous person that said attention will be the new currency? I forgot.
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett.
What do you say? Attention will be the new currency?
Attention will be the new currency when the dollar means nothing, essentially.
It is. It is.
Jay,
Coach, go ahead. Coach, go ahead.
No, I was just kind of reflecting on what Jay was saying, and it all starts with the parents, I guess. Like, I remember I was head of a jury back then in Italy for a very famous competition. A model would have been picked to get a very important role in a cinema movie. And so therefore we had this jury, and we gave those like an incredible amount of human beings, like, I don't know, thousands of models. We would have some trials, like they should, dance, they should recite a monologue, they should sing and all that. And then we would get further on, and then in the end we would decide about one person who would get the trophy and the prize. And I can't even start to tell you guys like how many parents, especially the mothers, approached me offering me the daughter, right? Like in exchange for a favorable,
I knew you were a pimp. I knew it.
Yeah, I'm Sicilian. No, but I mean, I was looking at these mothers as like, I'm a Sicilian, you're a Sicilian mother, right? So we share the same earth. We came from this ground, right?
Was this in Italy?
Yeah, that was in Sicily. Yeah.
For what? Just for your acting services, or for what? For what?
No, they offered me basically that their daughters would stop by at my hotel room if the next day I would
to judge them and like make them
in their
win.
favor. Yeah. Yeah. So it starts with the
Oh.
parents. And I said, you know, what I said to one mother is, I know that you want to be the actress. I know that you want to be famous. I
Yeah.
know that you would do everything for the limelight. So here's my offer. I won't sleep with your daughter in exchange for a favorable role next day.
Sleep with you.
Yeah. No, I will give you some acting lessons and I will make you an actress because obviously you are the person that wants to be famous, not your daughter.
Well, I mean, we see that in movies. Like, look at the movie Titanic. You know, they wanted her to marry that guy because he had a lot of money and they had a lot of debts.
Mhm.
So it's like that's something that just has played through all through history of mothers sacrificing their children in different ways. So it's like it's always, you know, rich people selling off their kids to marry other families just so they can have.
Part of history.
That's just always been a part of time, and now we're seeing it on another just weird scale here. For me, if I had a prediction, like what would be the next thing, I think we are going to see in the next 10 years, young men or maybe even older men addicted to AI women, and it's going to be a problem in this world.
Oh yeah.
Wait until the AI robots
years?
become realistic.
3 or 4.
Then I will say women will be in extreme trouble. But
I'm
I
just
do
saying,
wanna-
like, they'll get all the attention. They'll get
Yeah.
a perfect model. They'll get it Texas at
Yeah.
night if they want. They will get
So disgusting.
whatever they want. So these people
But
that
Jay, we have that already. It's called gaming. I
Yeah,
mean, I
but-
know-
yeah,
I
but
think women kind of brought this on themselves, like just
Yeah,
at least
I
a little
mean-
bit, like.
It's deeper than that.
I don't think
but,
you saying gaming is an addiction.
Oh yeah.
You talking
I
about
mean,
people that play
anything-
video games is an addiction?
No, man. I
anything
was
can be an
also a
addiction.
gamer.
Hold on, wait a minute.
I can
To
tell you,
defend that
I was
statement-
addicted to games. I sold
Oh.
everything for my Magic the Gathering cards. I invested so much money, and I was more addicted to these cards. And to me, it was more important to get the recognition for my fellow gamers instead of chasing women, instead of being out there flirting with girls, instead of
Are you attacking
I
me,
don't think that's a bad thing, though.
I just came back from a Magic the Gathering tournament.
Well, the thing is, I think that
Love it.
People are addicted to gaming also because this is safe, right? If you have to face a woman, right? And
Well, what I'm talking about isn't gaming,
Well-
man. Like it's a little more private. you know?
anything can be used. Any crutch can be used and can kill one's ambition. Gaming is,
Yeah, I
is
was about to say,
possibly
to
one of
defend
many.
him- To defend him a little bit, the way that I define an addiction is when you can't even take care of your basic everyday needs because you're
Yeah.
so focused on this one thing. If you're a gamer and you're not getting up and brushing your teeth, taking a shower, you can't go out and have these social conversations with people
I know
without.
people who shoot up and they're millionaires. I literally know people who shoot up and they're millionaires. They function
American of them.
perfectly.
And then,
Function, but they are addicted. I can tell you
Yeah.
they are addicted.
It's true.
but if I
But I'm
may,
saying you're placing that addiction above basic. Not saying that you can't function at all. I'm just saying like like prime example.
It's your
right?
entire life.
Weed
Is that what you're
smokers-
saying?
Well, it's your
Or
entire
is the
existence,
biggest purpose
let
of your
me-
life?
hold on, Let me finish. Let me finish really quick. For example, people who smoke weed swear up and down that it's not an addictive. That it's not an addiction. Okay, that's fine. Why the fuck we can't do shit without you smoking first? I can't do.
Yeah.
We can't do anything. We can't go to the movies. We
We
can't
have
play
functioning
games.
alcoholics, shit like that.
Yeah, it's not that they can't function, it's that they can't do jack shit without doing that first. To me, it's
Yeah.
an addiction. If you telling me you don't want to go to Florida, to Miami to the beach or something for the weekend because you ain't got no weed, you're addicted.
Yes.
Yeah.
but Jay,
Also,
if I just could say, I'm sorry, go ahead, because Ryan hasn't said anything really.
I'll just say this. I am a sugar addict. I probably have diabetes, and I'm going to die before the age of 50. No wonder my hairline is under siege. So now Casey can be serious while
not
I try
laughing
to
at
break
that.
the tension
Bruh,
that I think is
hold up.
happening.
No, but
Listen, bro, your hairline is just trying to run away from your racism, bro.
Shut up, Sylvester Stallone.
There's no tension. It's people with
straight
different
to the kitchen.
opinions. There's nothing tension about different opinions. You know what I'm saying? But also too, to kind of piggyback on Jay, and then Casey, you take over. The whole AI women taking over thing. You know, it's funny, that idea has been around for a long time. If you look at old movies that have to do with like futuristic settings, you'll see dudes literally falling in love or dating AI women or holographic women or whatever the case may be. Like that idea has been around for a while. So it's actually not that far fetched to believe that that's actually going to, come to fruition at some point in time, because it becomes so realistic after a point where, I mean, you got guys who specifically watch fucking like VR porn because it's so realistic. You know what I'm saying? So it's only a matter of time before that becomes a thing. And what's even more hilarious about it is that the AI women thing is blowing up right now because it's actually making a lot of these real women who do OnlyFans to get the attention of men. It's making a lot of them lose money because of it. Like there's people making bank off of AI women, and they're not even real. So it's gonna crash the OnlyFans market. Because can you imagine like how many dudes that once they figure it out how to do it, they're gonna flood that shit and it's gonna be ridiculous.
Accounts, 20 accounts
I'll have my own farm, bro. Admittingly, like I'll have a farm of AI bitches to whore out every night. I don't care. I don't care. It's just the truth. But it's the truth. Like I know we're making fun of it, but it's true. That's what's going to happen. And and it's sad that that's even possible. But that's because the society, as we got more connected, it got more lonely. As if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like people are more connected, but for some reason are dealing with loneliness and depression more than ever. And it's just an interesting.
Too much, man. I can't even rock with.
Liking the bonus hole, like what Trey said. So Jay brought up, cutters earlier, right? And like I don't wear sleeveless shirts very much because I have cuts all over my arms. So people are like, they see me, Leon, were you a cutter? And I have to explain, like, no, my first wife had this really weird fetish where she liked to drink blood during sex, and because I loved the bonus hole, I was able to let her do it. So,
all right.
Yo, son.
I can see now why she.
Hold on. White men, I need all the white men on the panel to come to the fucking congregation. Hold up. That includes you, Jay. I need to. First,
what race was your wife again?
That is some nasty stuff. I'm just gonna say.
Jesus Christ!
When you're 19 years old, you get married really young. You're like, oh, this is normal. I don't know any better.
That's some Megan Fox shit.
No.
Well, let's double up. So Casey, what were you gonna say before?
To Jay, I noticed when he said gaming, right? You were like, gaming? What you mean? So what I want to say is this, though. We can't talk necessarily about it. Now, first of all, I think video games are whatever. That's your past. That's somebody's pastime, whatever, to kill the time. Man, I think it's cool. I'm still trying to get into it, right? These kids coming up, though, they're not. This new generation is something else. I don't understand what's going on. Like us, when I was a kid, I grew up on like video games. My brother did too, but we were also able to go outside and ride our bike. Like we would put it down. And go ride a bike outside and meet up with our friends. These new kids, they're different. Like they get easily.
Their parents are different.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Again,
my mom was not going to allow my dad. Yeah, so you're right.
Yeah,
but they get easily soaked in. And then, but what you said though about that AI, the fact that this NPC thing, which my old behind just figured out exists like 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, wait, what is this that people are doing? Like ride a cowboy, like all this stuff. And I'm like, mindless, numbing behavior. Like it is just numbing behavior. And then with the AI, like I've seen people, there was this convention with the robots, and they were talking to them, and what is your plan? What if you go sentient? And all these demons, that's really what they look like to me. And the way the engineers, and these are smart men, these aren't kooks in the corner, like just kind of fantasy. Like these are smart people building these things up because maybe they are so insecure. They like this thought of like a parallel life where everything is safe spaces. The AI is going to answer me and be nice to me and everything, and no criticism. And I mean, we can connect this back to like, it all connects really. Like I knew the anti-bullying campaign was a bad thing. I didn't know what it was really going to turn into. I mean, everybody talks about safe spaces. So yes, I can see that being the new addiction. If you say 10 years, man, I give it about 5, probably less than that. I mean, it's
we already obsessed with the idea. If you think about one of the first blockbuster movies of all time was Metropolis from 1927, right? And Fritz Lang, if you look into the movie, what was he predicting? that there was this artificial intelligence ether that through electric, apparatuses was transferring, their program into a human body. And so the human body was actually kind of, operated from the inside from this artificial intelligence. And so this artificial lady was used as a spy to infiltrate the working class. The elites kind of constructed that AI that was 1927, mind you, right? And he was talking about skyscrapers and cars flying from one, high rise to the other, and this elite, very decadent, bigot type of elite, kind of, with their festivities and their lush events and their orgies, were laughing about the working class that was living in the subterranean world, in the underground world, and was just, operating those machines. And the elite was asking those workers to sacrifice once in a while to, a couple of humans to this, to this god. And AI was their method of infiltrating their mind and their desires and everything.
Well ahead of its time.
How the hell we got here? I could have sworn we was talking about Leah Thomas.
But
the Leah Thomas situation, Atreus, at the end of the day, is just one of many symptoms of
Atreus wants to talk about tranny demons, Dragon. Let's just face facts. He's desperate for the whole, and he'll take it in whatever form.
He likes the bonus ones, not the tranny demon holes. Okay, come on, Ryan. Just be honest.
Obsessed.
All right,
He wants to talk about the tranny demon.
Let me just say, Cassie, we're already making women blush. That I missed. Cassie's always hey, yo.
I'm here like, y'all are really pushing this shit. I'm like,
Casey, and always by the end of the stream, Casey, I'm having such a good time.
It's only Ryan that really pushes it.
Yeah.
Ryan be pushing it.
I mean,
you know why? Because it's not his channel. That's why.
I'm testing out the boundaries
he pushes
on another
no matter
channel.
what channel he's in.
Oh my god, he even admits to it.
Hey, he posts the boundaries on his own channel. No one watches.
Yeah. Damn, that's rough.
To
double up though. So I do wonder where it's gonna be in 5-10 years. I do think it's gonna happen sooner. It depends on the extent of which you're trying to make this a thing, right? So I don't think AI is there quite yet. I think considering how fast or how much of a stride AI has had within the last 6 months to a year, it wouldn't shock me if it happened 5 years or less, to be honest with you. At least in the online space, maybe not in the real world, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't doubt that it's going to happen much sooner than we both, that we all realize.
But I mean, like the YouTube videos, TikToks, Instagram Reels, all that stuff.
Yeah,
you generate a fortune just typing stuff out and just letting the AI handle all that stuff for you. It's like,
oh yeah,
it will be bombarded with all that stuff. So,
but YouTube lately has been cracking down on that because they don't want that stuff. But
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I've been seeing so many reels and TikToks of these people that have millions of followers. They're all AI content.
But here's the thing, Jay. What they're gonna do is they're gonna say, "Oh, we're cracking down on it," but in reality, they're gonna see which ones are good enough that maybe they can pass for real. Keep those, leave those alone because they're generating traffic to the site. Then the ones that are way too obvious, get rid of them. Delete the accounts, whatever they need to be done, and then things goes on as usual. That's always how YouTube is operated. How every corporation operates.
But I believe that this whole writer's strike and like this Hollywood strike is all because of AI. I think deep down, these people are trying to save their jobs at the end of the day because they know that a studio can just hire 4 people to put together a show now. And they don't need 400, and it will save them millions of dollars to have one guy with big, thick glasses and just type up a show and have it done, and they can pump it out on their streaming services and be done with it. Like they even do AI voices, AI everything. It's like it's just all there. They can even write scripts and just have a guy look it over and be like, "Yeah, it's good enough." All the crap that they're pumping out now, it's no big deal.
I mean, imagine Hollywood looking at us YouTubers. Like most of us are like one-man freaking armies out here, just putting out all this content. People want to watch this, and they're just like, "Well, why can't we have that? Except like make it more, put more money into it, and gain all this money and following." Just like I'm sure that they're looking at at us like and astounded by how we're crushing them.
Oh, let me tell you
in
something.
terms of entertainment.
There was a time when you were a YouTuber. It was a disgusting, terrible word
Yep.
in Hollywood and in reporters and film critics and all. They hate YouTube. They hated YouTubers because we were drawing a bigger audience, a bigger crowd, and getting paid more for what they were doing, thinking that they deserve where they're at. And you're absolutely right. They do look at us and wonder, why are these people getting all the attention and we're losing? And they can't stand the fact that we have people like everyone on this panel that tell the truth about movies that they watch or TV shows or things going on in the world today and give unbiased opinion. They give their own opinion, whether you agree with it or not. And so, yeah. And now, like, it's becoming such a big thing. You have almost, I wouldn't say competitors, but you have streaming services like Rumble. You have Kick. Kick now is like, I want to pay you 95% of what you make, which is unheard of. Please stream and talk about whatever you want on our channel. Like the world is understanding that this is where the future is. You were going to bring up the incident in New York with a Twitch streamer, which is they're becoming more famous than actual Hollywood celebrities and getting paid more. These people are signing 2 to 3 year deals on Kick for $100 million. It's more than NBA players, and it's like. They're starting to wake up now, and yeah, Hollywood and the entertainment industry, they need to they're gonna have to change. And I think this protest has something to do with like all of that, because you look at someone like Eric July, who could do 3.4, 4 million, $5 million on his campaign, who just literally ran it through his YouTube channel and his following. You know what I'm saying? You have someone like me, which is, I don't even have 100,000 subs on my channel, was able to do over $100,000. I probably could have did more if I let it go a little bit longer, on a kids book. So it's like, that's unheard of. That's unheard of. And now is like probably the perfect time for anybody out there that's listening or watching to create and be a part of something, because Hollywood is suffering. Like everything is bombing at the box office, seems, except for Sound of Freedom. No one's buying Marvel comic books. They released the numbers for the Star Wars High Republic series. Some of those books didn't even sell 3,000 copies with the Star Wars name on it. That's insanity. You would never have said that like 20 years ago, 15 years ago. You never would have said that. You could have slapped on the Star Wars name and it would have sold. No matter what it was, a toaster, a cup, whatever it was, people were buying toothbrushes, whatever it was. But now it's like you slap it on there and people are like, yeah, I'll pass. So
Baby Yoda's the only thing that sells anymore, Jay.
It's the age of the creator.
Yoda.
No, not even that. Like, and that hasn't been the case for a while. So, like about 6-7 months ago, maybe 8, one of my very first videos was talking about how the actual distributors that sell Star Wars toys, like not Toys R Us because they're out of business, but like businesses like that, we're talking about how Baby Yoda, Grogu, even that's not selling. It's not evergreen. And what they did and the way they proved it, they had a bunch of little kids and adults come in and they would show pictures of Darth Vader or Grogu. And in 90% of cases, even the little kids knew who Darth Vader was before Grogu. Then they switched up. They did R2-D2 next to Grogu. And even still, 90% of both kids and adults recognized R2-D2 first. So Darth Vader and R2-D2 are still outselling Baby Yoda, even after all that mass merchandising. It actually only lasted for about a year and then just fell right off.
The thing is, I don't. The strike is
that study sounds suspect as hell to me.
What
does?
What was the study he just talked? That study sounds suspect as hell. They held up 2 different characters. Of course, people are going to recognize Darth Vader over Grogu. We didn't even know his real name until season 2.5. Like,
right, but that's what I'm saying is that the whole the Grogu boom that we saw, throughout seasons 1 and 2 of Mandalorian, actually it didn't last for the distributors selling the products very long at all. Star Wars used to be called an evergreen product, a product that no matter what year, no matter what time of year, if it was on the shelves, it would sell. Star Wars has not been considered an evergreen product by the vast majority of distributors for about 2.5 years now, and Grogu didn't save that. They expected Grogu to make Star Wars an evergreen product again, and it didn't.
The only reason I don't have any data to dispute that, but what I'll say is I told y'all 100 times before, and I think even Casey agreed with this. Black people don't give a fuck about Star Wars like that. Especially not black women.
They don't. I like Star Wars,
but
I'm always the exception to
every last one of these motherfuckers know who Baby Yoda is. Everybody.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
I have an ex does not give a flying fuck about Star Wars at all. All right. You know what she bought me for Christmas one time? A fucking Baby Yoda hoodie.
That's why she's your ex.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
No. At the time, no. Well, she was my ex from years ago. This was recently. She bought me this recently. She was an ex from a long time ago. But she knew that I would like it because that was during the time where The Mandalorian was actually good. So you know what, Coach?
Keep your friends close and your exes closer, folks.
It was just making sure she stays in the next.
Well, the point I was just trying to make was that, obviously Grogu isn't going to be as popular as any other Star Wars character. I just thought that study that they did, I'm pretty sure there's more context that you probably didn't lay down. And so I'd have to look that up, but that sounds a little bit crazy.
I'll go back and I'll rewatch my old video and send you the link or whatever. Because this was literally 7 or 8 months ago, so I don't remember everything off the top of my head. But yeah, I covered it around the time I had just started YouTube.
Listen, you want to know why Star Wars is in the tank? Is because this is what they're selling at the theme parks. This is the merchandise that they are selling at the theme parks. So I took these photos and I'm like,
what?
Why are you selling this when nobody knows what this is? The worst thing that George Lucas ever did. He wanted this thing erased from existence. The whole holiday special.
I remember this thing.
And they think that this is, look, you got Rey and Chewie and all that. Like, these are the shirts that they're selling for $35 at the Disney park.
$35
at Galaxy's Edge. And it's like they have the wrong people. They've hired activists instead of people that understand the brand, that understand the company, selling this type of crap, thinking this is what people want. And when it doesn't sell, they blame everybody else.
Why does Rey look Chinese?
It's this, it's that, it's whatever. But it's like,
I wish it was.
This
But
is
Jay, can I ask you a park hopping question?
Of course.
So I went to Galaxy's Edge for the first time, and frankly, fucking last summer. So I imagine you've been. Can you give me like your honest opinion of Galaxy's Edge? Because I imagine you've been multiple times. Because as a massive Star Wars fan, I was disappointment doesn't begin to cover how I thought it would at least Disney or not, there would at least be something that would get the nostalgia in me happy. And it was the worst part of my entire Florida trip.
Galaxy's Edge, if you go into Disney World, they have multiple IPs: Avatar, Toy Story, even the Muppets. And in those places, you see the movie, you feel the movie. Like, I go into Pandora, okay, this is from the Avatar movie. I recognize everything. You go into Toy Story Land, this is everything like from the movies. You go into Galaxy's Edge, and they decided to create something brand new that no one has ever heard of before, and they decided to stick that Galaxy's Edge in a time period in between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, and they didn't want to break it. So you're not going to have Luke, Darth Vader. You're not going to have anybody from the prequels. You can only have Kylo Ren and Rey and the First Order troopers. So they don't even have John Williams' music's playing in there. So yeah, it is a huge $2 billion fail on Disney, thinking that this is what Star Wars fans wanted. It's like, who is making these decisions?
Never about what they want.
Then when they opened Galaxy's Edge and people were walking around, they're like, Batuu, that's not in any movie. Yeah, well, you'll learn to love it. Buy this book and you'll learn all about Batuu and learn how Han Solo visited and other people as well. And you're just like, so now you're telling me in order for me to enjoy a Star Wars theme park, I got to buy a book, and an operating manual just so I know what's going on. Are you kidding me? Like, what retard, signed this off? Oh, well, we learned that they were actually building the trilogies. They were building something for the original, something for the prequels, and something for the sequels. And when they were building Tatooine, and it's all this guy that was building it, it's all on record. He said that they had to change the plans because Kathleen Kennedy came in and said, we don't want to do that for 40 or 50-year-old Star Wars fans. We want to look to the future. So let's create something new that fans will love. We're going to insert this in all the films and all the, the books and everything, and it'll become relevant in a few years. We want to look forward, like plan ahead. And it's like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in the history. Like this is who's running the company. You spend almost $700 million on a Star Wars hotel that only could stay open a year because people didn't want to go to it. When you think Star Wars hotel, I'm like, yeah, like take my money. I'll spend whatever it is. But when they said, well, it's just going to be Rey and Kylo, you're going to love that, right? And
I hate that fucking witch, Kennedy witch, man.
yeah,
I
so
cannot stand her.
Well, it was
Have you done the Build-Your-Own lightsaber experience? When I did. There was one thing that happened that pissed me off like irredeemably. So I was curious. Have you done it?
What's that?
The Build Your Own lightsaber experience. I
had to do it off of the theme park channel. So yeah.
Okay, so when you were there, did they? Because when I was there, they introduced like the lore of lightsabers and the history of the Jedi, and she talked about. And there was this legend of a man called Luke Skywalker, but now the greatest Jedi to ever live is Rey. Like, did they talk that during your experience?
They really do that?
Are you
She looked the room of all of us dead in the eyes and said there was a legend
there's a
of Luke
recording. You guys
Skywalker.
can watch it live. We've covered it on our chat. You're absolutely right. And so, but now, they've even changed it more because of the pandemic. So they like kind of made it even worse. Like, so Build Your Own lightsaber is just you have to like stand away from everyone. Like they're still following the protocol procedures. It's kind of stupid. But yeah, they've made an entire theme park. I mean, listen, you don't even want to put John Williams mute. You have access to John Williams' iconic music, and you don't even want to put that in the theme park for people to walk around. They built an experimental ride called Rise of the Resistance. And in retrospect, if you ride it, it's kind of cool because it's different.
Yeah, it's actually a real cool ride. I won't lie.
It is the most problematic ride ever existed in history. It breaks down. They've calculated that it breaks down every 42 minutes, and the breakdowns will be for over an hour. So you have a ride that people can't even ride anymore.
Was it built by Russians?
I don't know, but it was some kind of new technology that they rushed. So it was like, and it's just
Chinese.
It's so sad what has happened to this to Star Wars, that these people have no clue. And now I have to ask myself this question. It's like, how does Lucasfilm make any money whatsoever for Disney? Because like, real quick, and I don't want to take up all the time, but just look at 2023 alone. Galactic Star Cruiser closes down with like just being open for a year because nobody cares. They made the Willow series. That was so bad. Bob Iger nuked the Willow series from Disney Plus. It's like, please don't let anybody watch this crap again. So that's gone.
I love
in the
when
middle
that
of
happens.
Mandalorian season 3, right before the Lizzo episode, over 300,000 people unsubscribed from Disney Plus in America and over 100,000 in Canada, right in the middle of Mando 3. That's supposed to be their flagship show to keep people on Disney Plus. Indiana Jones is one of the most costly movies ever made, and it is looking to lose $300 million. So what the heck is Lucasfilm doing? We just talked about their books, The High Republic. Some of those books aren't even selling 3,000 copies. What are they doing to bring money to Disney? Like, that's the thing.
I have a pitch for that. I have a pitch to bring them back. What they need to do is in Mandalorian season 4, they need to bring Lizzo's character back, but there's a bounty on her for sexually assaulting her subjects, and the Mandalorian has to go after her. That's the pitch.
Yo, bro.
We can start.
Lizzo Weinstein in the house.
Yeah, but so it's like all that stuff is just like, it's just fail after failure after failure, and you just wonder why do they even why even have this company more? Lucasfilm is not profitable. Nobody cares about their shows. They're just flushing money as fast as they could print it, and it's all in the red. It's just like, what's the point? So of even having this company around, it's really sad. You remember Reva? Reva was supposed to be the next big Star Wars character, and they're like, buy her lightsaber, and that thing bombed. Faster than Oppenheimer. It's like,
Jay, Reva was literally like
Oppenheimer.
Wait. Jay, Reva, let me tell you this way. My mom watched the Star Wars movie. She's not into the lore or anything. And when she watched that Obi-Wan show with me and saw Reva, her response every single time she showed up on the screen was, why the fuck do they have this woman here? She does absolutely nothing and doesn't make sense in the plot of the episodes. It's like she just shoehorned in. And also, Hypno, show this on screen real quick. Jay, I need you to give me your personal rating for this. Is this good enough? Do I need to add devil horns or something?
Nice.
I need I need
think
suggestions.
I think it's a disgrace to Harry Potter.
Well, it was a witch hat. I didn't know that was the sorting hat.
Look
when I put it
at
in.
those teeth. Look at those teeth, man.
They
Those are well paid for teeth.
But I will say this, and again, there's a lot of people on the panel. I hope Kathleen Kennedy stays for the next 5 years and makes incredible content, because by the time she's done, I'm going to own a mansion, a boat, a Ferrari. For all the stuff that she's giving me on my YouTube channel, it's been glorious. I've made more money on my YouTube channel than the Galactic Star Cruiser has made.
She's going to be the next CEO of Disney. I'm telling you.
No, she's gonna retire herself, dude.
They're gonna retire her. They're gonna do the.
She's not gonna get fired. They're not gonna retire her. She's gonna retire herself.
Willingly
She's gonna
retire.
go down like a strong, independent, badass woman.
Exactly.
That's what they want. That's what they want to show her as.
Nobody says. I seriously think that George Lucas broke that woman's heart in some fashion or something that we did not know about. Because I know how women move, especially a scorned woman, and she has burned down everything that he's done. So what is this about? That she's not stupid, right? It's almost like it's on purpose. Okay.
But she would be losing money though. But the thing is, it's one thing to this. If we're going by that logic, it would be one thing for the scorned woman to destroy a man's work from a distance or an indirect way where she doesn't get damaged by it. But in this case, she got everything.
She's still getting paid.
And then she's losing money too. The more money Lucasfilm loses, the more that damages not only Disney's reputation but their earnings.
But she don't care, dude, because it's not money coming out of her pocket. You know, it's not money coming out of any of their pockets. They're getting paid to fail upward. You know what I mean? It's not. They don't care. You know, imagine getting paid to do a job poorly and still getting paid and keeping your job. That's essentially what's happening.
But
so I would get paid $20 million a year to fucking bomb Lucas. I don't give a shit.
No,
if that's what you're gonna pay me, then fuck it. Go for it.
But Hypno, that's how it's always been for decades. Even what's his name? Christopher Lee. There we go. Christopher Lee. They even did an interview with him long ago, where he says, "Yeah, there are these people that they're just thinking about making money, or they want to keep their position or get their agenda across. And so what they try to do is they try to find people that they can connect with that are either in the upper or lower spheres, and they make sure that those people that support their little viewpoints always go up with them and are like this perfectly connected chain that will be extremely hard to break off and that will be able to push out their agenda." And to be honest, guys, with Disney right now, with their shows, the message that they're trying to push across, and this was showcased immensely in the last Indiana Jones movie, and it even surprised me when I had to do a review on it because I didn't even know that it was this blatant, and that was that men are shit, women are better, and we don't need a man when a woman can do everything. They are and worst off, all the classical values that all these old men created long ago are worthless. We are the new we are the new generation. We're going to take over and our viewpoint will reign supreme. And that's why, Jay, even though Disney's losing so much money, they are able to keep going with this because, yeah, sure, they're going to do this thing to save face a little bit, which is to fire some people that to them are way too problematic. They have way too much heat on them. But in reality, there's still going to be enough of those people in that studio that are going to continue the agenda from the back. They're just going to, what they're going to do is they're going to try to give in to the will of the masses for a short time. And then after things cool down a little bit, they gain their profits back up somewhat, they're going to revert right back like an addict, like an alcohol addict. Let's be honest, because they that's what they want to push. Unfortunately,
I don't know, man. I might have to disagree a little bit because it seems like they are getting ready to sell off some properties.
Exactly. I'm sure.
It's like, I mean, but I agree with you. If somehow an influx of money came in, if they had a banger or something happen, I agree with you.
You know what the influx of money is coming from, Jay? The influx of money is coming from the ESG scores. Let me explain.
With
these ESG scores,
how much time you got, Dragon?
Bro,
Right,
with these
bro, like-
ESG scores, there are investors that are very wealthy investors that do not care, that have an immense amount of money. They don't care where it goes to, and they use the ESG scoring system as an easy excuse to donate or invest huge amounts of money into stock for Disney and other companies, because when they do so, they can have better tax write-off benefits. And then when Disney is investing that massive amount of money into these big projects that always end up failing, by the way, guess what happens? They can also use those failing projects, the loss that is massive losses generated through those failing projects, as a way to get a tax write-off. It is like a big circle jerk. Where at the end of the day,
that stuff is running out quickly because they
well,
can't.
yeah, right now it is because it's too much.
Yeah,
They
I
can't
think
keep up with
maybe
it.
like you're right. Probably 5-6 years ago, that was probably the way to go. But it
Yeah,
is.
that
They
was-
have had even right now the theme parks. There's articles out there that the theme parks are empty, right? The Disney parks are empty. Now, someone that covers it, that I've been featured in Bloomberg and everything else for the theme park coverage. They're not empty right now, and the only reason is because Disney was so desperate over the summer. They did something that they've never done, at least as far as I know, if I researched in the history of their company, is that over the summer they offered a ticket to their parks. Like I think if you buy 3-day tickets, it maxed out to like $60 a day. That's unheard of. A normal ticket to get into Disney's are about $150 here in Orlando,
When
and
I
it
went
fluctuates.
last year, it was like over $1,000 for 4 days.
Yeah, well, it fluctuates over different time periods. It could go down to 109, but then it'll go up. But yeah, because they knew that people weren't going to their parks, that they've outcharged people, everything about the theme park, and that's what we've been recovering. That's like more people are starting to choose Universal. More people are starting to choose SeaWorld of all destinations for when they go. And I know this wasn't on the board, Hypnotic, so sorry that I didn't mean to change course of the direction. But if you just want to show this real quick, this was the census that came out. And just let me show you how the media is still trying to show that Disney's superior. Right here on the ranking system, like 1 through 10, it shows Magic Kingdom, Disneyland, Disney's, Epcot, all Disney properties. But for some reason, they put the 2019 ranking right here. Just so it looks like Disney's still winning, and people misread this whole chart. This is the 2022 ranking. You can see the numbers here, and it's clearly that Universal Islands of Adventure is the third. Now, Magic Kingdom will always be supreme, and Disneyland's over in California. But for the first time in its history, Universal parks have gained more people and more traction over all the other Disney parks. It's never happened before. Disney knows this. They know that people are choosing to go to other parks than to go to their park, and that's been their only moneymaker. That's the thing that brought in $9 billion for them, and even more, because it's so they could fail over and over. They're like, well, the parks are making us money. So now they're at this point over the summer where they're like, no one's coming to our parks. We better charge like holy crap, like nothing to get people to go. So that's what happened. So all these people have bought these discount tickets, and then they take pictures of the park and they're like, look, we're full. Everything's fine. It's not fine because they're not really turning much of a profit over there at the parks as much as they'd like to, because they knew no one would go unless they charged cheaper ticket. So it's quite an interesting place that they put themselves in. And that's why I think we're seeing more and more of these rumors of, yeah, we're going to sell. And I will say this, whether you like the guy or not, this is an irrelevant point. But many people did not know that Disney was pushing like the message like in their parks or in their films until they went after the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. So if you like him or not, that's beyond the point.
Yeah.
What that did was put all what he was saying that Disney was doing with woke culture on a global spotlight, because they're like, why is a theme park business going after the governor of Florida when they've had such a great relationship all those years? And so now it's like my parents, they don't follow this stuff, they just watch them old shows, have some soup and go to sleep. But when this stuff started appearing on like Fox News and CNN and all these other things, now they started to ask questions as to what is going on down there. And so people started to discover that there like the agenda and stuff that are pushing. And so because of that, they have decided to, not to, give Disney their money. Somebody in the chat says, I wish Jay and Krista would stop going to Disney parks during park hopping. I totally get your argument and you know, your statement, and you're free to say that. But we're going to keep covering the parks. I have an annual pass that's good for probably another 9 months. So I'm going to do something with it. You know,
I mean,
and still report on stuff. So but your criticism to say that I wish you'd stop going is all. And let me just say that I totally get what you're saying, and that's okay for you to say it. But the fact that if I go to Universal has Marvels, and they also have the Simpsons land. So when you go to Universal, you still give money to Disney. Also, Legoland and other places like that, they still license out stuff from Disney into those parks. So it's almost impossible for me not to travel to a single theme park without giving Disney a little bit of money. So that's just the reality of it. How
Disney
it works.
owns a lot of things,
So,
including oil welding companies. Like it's not a secret.
I wanted to you know, I know Dragon was going off about the situation with Disney. I'm a person that believes in numbers. I know, like I always talk about Cassie being jaded, and then, you know, I mentioned Casey being jaded today. I'm more so going off numbers and what I'm seeing. Now, sure, there might be some secret evil agenda at Disney and all of that that's going to do what they do no matter what. But there ain't no way that you seeing them, like he said, selling off assets, trying to license out their IPs to other people. You don't spend all that money you spent on the Galactic Cruiser just to shut it down a year later if your entire goal is, you know, fuck the money. We're going to get the money from BlackRock anyway. So we good. I don't believe that. Now, maybe that's an emotional argument. I'm just going based on what I'm seeing. So we can sit here and say, oh, well, it's no use anyway because the agenda is going to be the agenda anyway. I don't believe that. I believe instead of this whole idea of there's like a table full of evil people at the top making decisions for everybody, I believe there's a table with people with agendas. And the same way Bob Iger is up there trying to remain the CEO, there's some asshole up there with a different agenda trying to stab him in the back. That's how I believe corporate America works. And so you got some people who aren't woke. You got people who are really woke. You got people who, quite frankly, don't give a fuck.
I have family and friends that work at the parks too, so it's kind of hard to.
Well, and Jay, if I may ask, or sorry, I'll let you finish. I thought you
finished. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
Well, no, go ahead, because I lost my.
I believe in super chats.
So, but so because Jay, you were talking about, you know, still going to the parks and whatnot, and frankly, I got to ask you, are they still fun? Because from my experience last year, aside from Galaxy's Edge, I'm the most anti-Disney guy out there. There's two companies I hate. It's Disney and Wizards of the Coast. But Disney World was still a lot of fun, except for Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've loved theme parks. Eventually, I'm planning this big world drive-in tour where I'm gonna go visit theme parks outside of Orlando finally. And I don't like the Magic Kingdom at all. I do like Pirates of the Caribbean, but I don't like Magic Kingdom as a whole. I enjoy going to Animal Kingdom. It's like a big zoo, you know. And yes, I'm sorry, and this rubs people the wrong way. I really do like the Avatar films. So I'm one of those people that just likes. I just do. Don't kill me for it. But
it's good, man.
And I don't care if you criticize it. You can trash it. It's all good, man. Like I'm not a crybaby. I'm not gonna be all upset that you don't like this film. Everybody has different tastes, so I don't mind Pandora at all, because they actually, James Cameron had to come in when they built Pandora. James Cameron and John Landau actually came. The story is fascinating. They came into the park and they were like, yeah, that ain't in Avatar. You got to take that out. You got to take that out. You can't have this. And they approved everything down to the leaves in that park.
Awesome.
Because they want to keep, this was before Disney bought Fox. They wanted to keep the IP, you know, exactly like they written it and put it together. So they did not want to, you know, James Cameron was like, I'm not bending to Disney. They're not going to change my creation. And so that's, you know, I enjoy going there. So, but I prefer now. I'm loving like Universal side a lot more. But I'm excited to get out to like Silver Dollar City and Dollywood and Kings Island.
You will love Silver Dollar City. I've been there. You'll love it.
Oh, cool. And I got to get to I got to get out to the West Coast, Knott's Berry Farm. And honestly, I've never been to Disneyland in my whole life. So, you know, and California Adventure, but I have been to Universal Hollywood, to the Super Nintendo World. I love it. I believe with everything in me, when Super Nintendo World opens here in Orlando, it's going to be a Disney it's gonna mess that park up.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So,
I was just laughing at Atreus dying in this
Final
game.
nail in the coffin for sure.
Nintendo's on top of the world right now after that Mario movie.
They definitely are.
Fuck that Avatar ride though. It was supposed to be my last ride of the day, and it broke down while we were literally next in line. And it fucking broke down. So fuck that Avatar. The
Yeah.
Avatar world's cool, but fuck that particular ride.
I love the
So
comments.
I never got to experience it.
Arthur Brown says, "Not surprised Jay likes those trash films. I love it, man. Bring it on, man. It's all good. I love it. Hey, I bet there's some films you like. I bet there's some films you like that are trash too. So come on. Everybody has those couple films where you're like, yeah, I like this, and you're like, what the freak? Why do you like that movie? It sucks. I'm like,
That's how it always is, man.
yeah.
Everybody likes one thing, then hates the other. It is what it is. Let me go through the super chats real quick, and you guys can continue the conversation. We got Snoopy, member for 2 months, says, nice to see someone else from the medical field that is disgusted. My wife is a nurse practitioner, and I'm a physician's assistant. It's bad at the moment.
Yes,
There
it
you
is.
go. Shout out to
Shout
Casey.
out, brother.
You got Ehab for $9.99 says, I've lived with my girl for 3 years, just like her. The attic is beautiful. I can't wait to surprise her. God, Jesus Christ.
F.A. That is one of
Oh
my
my
favorites.
god, that's hilarious. We got
I'm
Red
so
Sings of
lost.
Blues for 2. Says, I finished a new setup. See you soon. Congrats, man.
Nice.
I know you were working on that. We got Culture Casino for 5. Says Galaxy's Edge is a huge fail, but I guess all of Disney is right now. Oh hi Jay.
Hey, what's up, Culture?
I cosplay as this man. You know, hairstyle,
Great job.
glasses, beard. You should get him on Hypno. He's a great guy.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And then Culture Casino again for 5 says, Jay, you need some Barbie pink, challenge the narrative. We got to rock some pink golf shirts in October, right?
Let's do it, man.
There you go.
Wait, hold on. I don't know about wearing pink, but maybe pink socks.
I think he wants you to cosplay as the Ken.
The manliest of men wear pink.
Culture said, Culture with a $5. Jay loves showgirls unrated, just like me. Hey, man, listen, Saved by the Bell was my. You grew up with Saved by the Bell, man. You had to watch Showgirls just because.
It was genuinely shocking at the time it came out.
Yeah.
She did that though. She did that because she was stuck in that like good girl
Jesse
image,
Spano, yeah.
and she wanted to get away from it so bad that she did that film, which is it's crazy. Like the whole
was like,
backstory behind that film as
Do you
well.
wear Versace? Versace? What you talking about Versace? All right, sorry. That's
Right, anyway.
my time. Whatever.
We also got Panther 111 with 1 gifted Hypnotic membership. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you as always. And War Machine 300 gifted 5 Hypnotic memberships. Thank you, War Machine. I wish I could highlight all this, but I can't, unfortunately.
Don't trust
'cause
anything
StreamYard
War
sucks.
Machine gives you. It might be a scroll in disguise.
Good one. Good one. I'll give it to you.
Trey's
Good one.
face says it all.
Oh, bro.
That is one wide nose.
Unbelievable.
What the freak?
You know what? You
What's wrong
fucking
with you?
pale skinned Klansman.
Yo.
I will get on the first fucking flight to Britain right now.
Please
Hey,
go
funny
to
thing
UK and
If those two met up,
you but with your own noose, okay?
Yo, son.
you
Please
realize
go
like
to
if those
UK
two met
and-
up, there would be pictures of them like smoking weed together or something.
Yeah.
They would be
Yeah.
the happiest
Next to a
of
pack
friends.
of sheep.
Yeah.
Next to a pack of
Yep.
sheep too.
They seriously would.
Please go to the UK, Atreus, and whiff up all the white man's air, leave them without oxygen, murder them
I
all.
saw
Oh,
two black people yesterday.
Hold on,
Balls
listen.
of
was
Ryan
scared.
to fall
I
out of
gotta say
Trace's
this.
nose when his
Hey,
forehead was
go ahead,
like
go ahead,
I
Jay's
gotta,
got
say this
go ahead.
about, I gotta say this about British people.
Uh-oh.
They can say whatever they want because they're stuck eating crap like this. This is what they think of as biscuits and gravy. If you could share my
Oh
screen.
no,
no.
This is their
Ew.
biscuits and gravy.
Oh my god, dude.
If they're eating that, like this is real. See over here, this is
Ugh.
my friend Disparu.
Yeah.
Disparu's like, yeah, this is our biscuits and gravy. And I'm like, no,
Oh my
see this big
God.
clumpy white stuff. And like he even tagged me here saying, Jay, is this right? I was like, yeah, we eat this white. That's our biscuits and gravy. I don't know what kind of stuff you're eating over there. So no wonder you guys are bitter and angry all
Hold
the
on.
time. And
On
like,
second thought, On second thought, Atreus, I suggest you don't go over there because in the UK they eat beans on toast for breakfast, so they are farting from the very moment they wake up in the morning, and you will be smelling all that shit. Have
And
fun.
they eat faggots, you know, that meat dish, you know.
Yep.
They also eat they eat a lot of faggots. I mean, what can I say?
Atreus looks like a faggot.
Beans on toast sounds good.
As long as we're strictly talking about the food,
Yes,
of
the
course.
food. The food.
We got Christopher Gonzalez for 2 says, "My man who's vaping, what flavor?"
Peach mango.
Oh, look at that.
You would vape some peach mango shit. That's such
He's
a
gonna
feminine
get
fucking...
diabetes, you know.
Jesus
Vaping
Christ.
all
That's such a trans thing.
Diabetes.
God. Leon, I was expecting like such a harder answer from you.
What, like,
Yeah, I'm
That was
vaping
pretty
peach,
funny, though.
peach mango, you know. Flicks his hair back too. Flick your hair back while you do it too. I'm vaping
In
pink
real life, I'm
mango.
allergic to peaches, so the only way I can get peach flavor is artificially. So
You should be trans, Leon. Because
He was at one episode.
yeah, I'm thinking
he
about
was.
bringing that character back once a month, doing videos as Leona, being on here once a month as Leona. Like I'm thinking about just
motherfucker
making
say
it a regular
Leona?
thing.
Yeah, he was Leona.
Don't you remember this stuff?
The thing is, in
No, the
Germany,
only thing I
Leona
remember
is
is
a
him
sausage.
sucking Cassie's dick. That's all I remember. That's it.
Yeah.
Coach
Hey,
said
yo.
in Germany, Leona's a
That's why he's
sausage. I'm like,
thinking
well,
about my
Leona
dick?
has a
That's
sausage.
crazy.
Like,
Yo,
Leon definitely deep throats Cassie for sure.
think about
That's
it.
fine. It's-
no wonder your blood stuck in
I
white.
gag when I brush my
going
tongue.
on?
Cassie probably too much for me. Like,
I think about your dick a lot, Cassie. Yeah,
damn. Sorry, Jay. I should probably say Atreus and Leon have this insatiable thirst for our favorite tomboy. So
They really do.
yeah,
Hey, man,
I think
just
it's,
be happy.
it's what it is.
Culture
Yeah,
Casino
it's
for
what it
5 says, "Cassie, is that a crow T-shirt? Dang."
Hell yeah,
Yes,
boy.
it is.
Cassie's got some
Yeah.
epic T-shirts. I'm not gonna lie. She's be coming out with the fire.
Yeah, shut up.
The fuck?
Atreus, you
Go
jealous,
back to
man?
the hood,
Hey?
Atreus.
Atreus is definitely jealous for sure. You can't say anything about Cassie because then Atreus just that nose gets really wide and you know the anger just comes right through it.
Oh, wide
Rough.
move,
Son of a
boy.
bitch, I will. Oh, look, you know, Cassie, no offense to you, but you Puerto
I
Rican
got a little
motherfucker.
update on our drawing.
Atreus, like, oh, artwork. Hold on.
Artwork to cleanse the timeline. Nice. That is the proper color for Ryan for sure.
That's about right. Yeah.
Tranny colors, nice.
Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
Tranny demon colors. I like it. Very good.
That's awesome.
All you homosexual Americans should be quiet.
All right, I think I caught up. I think I caught up on all the super chats. I'm almost positive. Yes, I did. All right, cool. So to kind of go back to the conversation before, just because one thing I wanted to say, I've always said, and a lot of people always say the entertainment side of Disney is definitely subsidized by the parks. And I've always said if the parks ever went under in terms of loss of money or not as much revenue, it's only a matter of time before you start seeing changes, right? Because you saw what's happening with the parks, like Jay mentioned, and how they're desperately trying to make it seem like Disney's not affected, that they're using stats from like many years ago to try to make some sort of argument. But if they're making changes now and they're trying to cost cut in their movies, it's not because they necessarily care about that. They're just what used to make them a ton of money is no longer making them as much money. And if $60 per ticket is their new norm in order to get a certain amount of people into their parks, it's gonna really start to affect them everywhere. And then now you have the writer strike on top of things too. It's just everything is starting to kind of crumble, and it's great to see.
I've never been to Disney World in my life, any Disney theme park, and you guys freaking out of all this shit. I'm like, I'm gonna take my ass to Knoebels in PA where I can walk in for free parking, buy a book of tickets. You're riding on rides all day for the mass majority of the day. Old fashioned, true fun, man.
I haven't been to
Knoebels.
I need to check out
the best. It is the best park I've ever been to. I've been to Hershey Park. I've been to Rye Playland in New York, Adventureland, New York. Like, I haven't been to many places. I'm not a very worldly person by any means, but Knoebels is by far the place me and my family have visited for many years.
I need to check it out. I've seen.
You have to. It's amazing.
We might have to like link up though, for real. Like,
hell yeah.
I'm so sincere. Like, yeah, because I've always wanted to go to Knoebels. Obviously,
I've never been to a theme park because I'm poor.
Stop it.
Well, that's why Knoebels is amazing. You walk right the fuck in.
Does
no
the UK
no
even
charge.
have
It's an
theme
American
parks?
thing.
That sounds.
They have Highlands. They have highlands, some hills.
motherfuckers
It probably
still go
explains
up
a
in
lot of the angry
They still
racism.
go up in those damn castles that are still standing in place.
I want Highland to be the only theme park in the UK because there can be only one.
Did you guys hear though? Like, this group is
What?
building a $2 billion theme park, right in the middle of America, calling it the It's called American themed Central or something like that. It's going to be all about celebrating America and all this. It's pretty. It looks awesome. And the people that are building it are the old Disney Imagineers that were let go from Disney, and they were like, they wanted to finish some of their magic that, all the cool rides that people still loved, like Splash Mountain, Haunted Mountain, Pirates of the Caribbean. All those people, they're going to this theme park to build this, like, and they're calling it like the Magic Kingdom of the Midwest or something like that. It's pretty. It looks pretty awesome. It's going to be built in like 3 years. So
anything that's a competitor against Disney, even if it's even slightly, I'm all for it. Like there needs to be. They've had a monopoly in terms of theme parks for quite a while.
They have.
You know what I mean? And nobody ever came close, honestly, to them. But now to see them panic a little bit, it's pretty funny. But I want to switch off topics real quick because we're past 2 hours and I want to get on this because it's hilarious. And I have a feeling we're going to be on this for a little while. I want to talk about the new TMNT movie. And I want to talk about this particular screenshot that's going around. It's getting roasted right now online.
Oh no, not that screenshot.
Yeah, this particular screenshot is quite epic. And the reason why,
What is that?
Yeah.
That's you would Freya.
But here's why. Let me put some. Let me put some context for those of you who are watching. We have over 200 people. Thank you guys so much for the support tonight. It's been awesome. Some context. So this was tweeted by the person who created April O'Neil, okay, in the new TMNT movie. And the creators said the new TMNT film is out now. And then it says, my first assignment was to work on April O'Neil. No pressure. And then they said, we tried making her relatable, and this part's highlighted, and grounded in the real world while keeping some of the details that make her so iconic. I personally love her in this film. Now, I don't know. I know Atreus is going to disagree because he fucking hates black women, which is fine. But
I do not fucking hate black women.
Bro,
I want to know
you show,
where
like, good-looking women in your stream, it's always a white woman or a mixed one.
We know, Atreus. It's fine. You don't. It's okay. You don't have to.
That is a cap ass
But-
lie.
Common ground between you and Ryan, so at least you guys have that.
Yeah, if I was a black woman, I honestly I would lose my mind at this because you're trying to say that this picture is based in reality for black women. Are you kidding me, bro? Like the one in the middle is not that bad. Like the comment over here on the right says it's actually not that bad if they remove the mom jeans, but I don't know why they got to do that. But the one on the left and the right, bro, you cannot. That's fucked up.
They're
Like,
ugly.
you cannot say that this is based in reality, bro. That's really fucked up. That's taking it to a whole nother level, and it constantly creates that stereotype where they're uglifying all females in movies, TV, video games, everything. Like they're uglifying like this picture on the left. This picture on the left just dumbfounds me. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but this one is just fucking insane. I like you can't.
You could tell at one point they were
That's a dude.
considering making the character trans.
These people are on the spectrum.
They definitely were thinking about making this character like non-binary or some shit.
Yeah,
the spectrum
sure.
of abhorrent. Yeah, sure.
It does look like a guy. Look like a fucking linebacker. Look at the shoulders on this. Like this is.
God damn, you're right.
The one on the
This
right
is
bothers me more, though,
Trans-Atreus.
bro.
The
Look
one
at
on the
those
right
eyes.
looks like
Those are
she's-
some Xanax snorting eyes.
And the one on the right looks like a beggar. Like, what is this homeless look for the one on the right? Yes,
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like, this is ugly. And let me be the token black woman on the chat and say,
Go ahead.
this is not realistic. None of my friends look like this at all. Like, and yes, they try to do the whole queer thing because now that's the connection. You see, black has to be queer. You're not black enough unless you're queer.
Black
But
and
this is what I
trans.
said to black folk. That's why y'all was never supposed to be so worked up over racism because it was going to turn around and come back on you too. You know,
Well,
if you're not
y'all
queer,
already know.
you don't
Y'all
matter.
already know what I've said about this a million times
Yeah.
already. I told y'all feminism is a weapon being used by butthurt, ugly ass women who are mad because they can't get in the same room.
If I'm not
with women
mistaken,
who
though,
are
this is a
actually-
white man that drew this, right?
Yeah, I don't think
Well,
this is
but if you
Who made this?
yeah, but
It was a
you
white dude.
know, but when you look at these DEI
Wanna find
initiatives,
it.
who are they? They're all black. They're all like older black women who are trying to diversify. So even if it's a white man, an Indian man, an Asian man who's writing this stuff, the mandate came down from some black woman who's a DEI chief. They have to. We got to get diverse. We got to show more black women. It's always a black woman who's queer as fuck who looks strange because they're angry that they can't get in the same room with women who they don't belong in the same room with. I'm sorry.
Damn.
You don't belong. You belong with the regulars that you're trying to avoid so bad. You can't accept that you regular looking. You busted.
Black women
and you
came
trying to-
for Atreus' signal. Maybe that was.
But this isn't just black women though. This is women. This is women of all races and genders. Remember, old girl from the Witcher show who just came out and said the woman that they got to play Yennefer, they did it to challenge beauty standards. And we're like, bitch, what? This
What?
bitch ain't ugly.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
the
you're right.
fuck? It's like
Challenge beauty standards,
because
like-
they have it in their mind that if you're not a white blonde woman with blue eyes, then you must not be attractive. Are you out of your rabbit ass motherfucking mind?
That was
But
hilarious when they tried to say that she challenges beauty standards. Like she is
Yeah, like-
prototypical beautiful by standards. Like she
Exactly.
Like who is she?
But that's what they think because she's not white. Because I think she's a Middle Eastern woman. I believe she is.
Yeah, she's
But
Middle Eastern.
the whole
Arab.
point is you got these women who are busted. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to social engineer you into believing that busted is beautiful. Bitch, it ain't. Stop it.
Well,
All right.
That's good that you said that because that is the communistic approach. I mean, this is communism. I mean, there's always what is it, a proletariat and the bourgeoisie, right? So it comes down to everything, even health, even working out is all right. You know what I mean? So yes, the uglies are,
Drinking black coffee is racist now.
Are the supremacists of the uglies? And I mean, come on, I don't call people ugly for real. But when y'all start pushing this type of thing and tell me like this is beautiful, now it's like, all right, man, now I gotta get real. It's not like it's not.
My signal Epsteined itself momentarily. That's why I wasn't able to interject during Atreus's monologue. But clearly, I'm the most left-wing person on this panel. I'm also the ugliest. And this drawing was obviously drawn by a racist white man who wants to paint black women as ugly bitches for some reason. And it's unbelievable.
I think he's gay too. I think it's a white gay.
Yeah.
This is the voice of April O'Neil, by the way.
Yeah.
So,
like
apparently, I looked up the actual creator of that rancid, disgusting looking image. His last name is Castillo. So he is
Of course he's
Hispanic.
fucking
He
Latino.
looks close
God
enough
damn
to be
it.
white, and he has he, him in the bio, so believes in the pronouns.
nice.
bullshit.
There you go. But that's who they're gonna place. That's who they're gonna place to do their bidding. I'm telling you every time. Like it's like, why would you like? There's no way you looked around at black women and said, "Yeah, this is acceptable."
But
There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Again,
I mean, he literally drew her to literally look homeless.
It's pretty accurate.
Hey, look,
I gotta-
Holy shit!
Hey, Hypno, pull up the.
Hey yo,
the
somebody send me that. I need that right now.
It's in the
Oh.
chat.
Put it in
Andreas.
the group chat.
in the group chat. Wait, Hypno, pull up that first picture of like the initial drawings. Well, I was gonna do a comparison, but yeah, like the first one you showed. Yeah, the first tweet you showed of the concept art, the initial concept art of April.
I have to go back.
Yeah. But guys, please tell me they didn't fucking look at I guess if I remember correctly, that's Eddie from Ed and Eddie.
No,
and they just said, yeah, we'll make a female version of him. Yeah, look at this shit.
Yeah,
It's
I can see
100.
why you say that with the one on the left. Yeah.
No, the one on the right. I'm talking about the one on the right.
Oh.
No, the one on the right, not the one on the left. The one on the right. Look at that shit. Look at the eye.
The one on the left's a fucking linebacker. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
That is a football player in high school, bro. Like that's no.
That
Leah
those
Thomas in
shoulders
black
can
pants.
stop a triceratops.
I'm almost positive I've seen
100%.
that kid on the field somewhere somehow.
Absolutely. I just can't take it. Like I seriously cannot
No.
take the mainstream black now. If it's not gay, it's twerking, It's rapping about aborting babies.
It's rioting in the streets, live streaming.
Yes. That's what the culture is now standing for. Anything degeneracy is what mainstream culture is showing you at Black folk. I mean,
what about my coochie hole brown? Is that a thing now too?
Huh?
Because he'll do that. He'll
I'm just saying, like, nobody's fighting it. You know, I don't hear anybody speaking against it. They get money off of it, so it is what it is. But
the problem goes well beyond April and race shit. Like I'm a massive Ninja Turtles fan. Like I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan. Like this is Ninja Turtles right here. All right. So when you've got like people out there, they've got this whole set right here that they're on. You know, you can't see them on camera, but I've got Ninja Turtles shit all over my place. I've got a poster of all the turtles that says "Say no to drugs, say yes to pizza," and I had it signed by the original Raphael. I've been entrenched in Ninja Turtles since I was like 4 years old. And when this I remember I was in the theaters seeing the Mario Bros movie when this trailer hit, and I looked at the chick I was seeing the movie with, who was also a big Turtles fan, and we gagged. And it wasn't even, we hadn't even gotten to the April O'Neil shit first. It was the animation and the overall design. Like, Ninja Turtles has always been goofy, but it's always been like a parody of, you know, the traditional comic books and heroes. And so when it looked like the idea of going with that sort of Spider-Verse animation, at first I thought, oh, that's really cool. They're going to kind of make fun of the parody, another common popular superhero trope that's popping up. And it's become a comedy. Like, yes, when you take something called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it inherently sounds silly, but the greatest thing about it is that it takes itself seriously. So I actually, it bums me out. This will be some kid's introduction to the Ninja Turtles. When you watch stuff like Turtles 87 or Turtles 03, those are far better ways to introduce children to this, but instead they're going to get these diversity hire wannabe turtles that are not actually indicative of what the real source material is, and they'll probably never be experienced to that because it's old. It pisses me off.
Why are their heads so squished though? It's like it's the turtles.
The animation style, like they just chose that willingly. And you know, to be honest, like at this point, man, like that movie, I won't consider it acceptable as a Turtles movie. I'll just stick to the older ones I watched. And to be honest, the Michael Bay ones are way more faithful than this one. I'm quite sure.
Well, no, people on the internet are being like, well, they act like teenagers in this one. Bitch, even in the comics, they didn't act like teenagers. The motherfucking kids in Naruto were 11 years old and they're better ninjas than these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one positive, not necessarily with this movie, but more so the things that I'm hearing about this upcoming Ninja Turtles video game, the Last Ronin. It's based off of the comic book.
Ronin is awesome.
Yeah, apparently, the co-creator has endorsed that particular game, so I'm interested to see, and it's gonna be pretty dark given the source material. So I'm interested to see. I hope that with the fact that, you know, gaming is the greatest entertainment medium right now, that more children, or at least teenagers, can be introduced to that as opposed to this bullshit that's being shit slung into the movie theater.
Then they'll be on Fortnite, you know, the Ninja Turtles.
I mean, do y'all remember? I don't know, but like I'm 40, so I remember when the first Ninja Turtles.
You're 29. Don't let no one tell you differently.
Thank you. But I remember when the first Ninja Turtles movie was coming out. I think I was somewhere like 7 or 8, and like that's all we were talking about in school. And then like some of my friends they saw it before I did, and they were like, "Yeah." And then they were eating pizza. The first, you know, everybody's eating pizza in the movie. And they start talking about the movie. Yeah, and then the Turtles, like just the whole like
when that movie came out, it was the highest grossing indie film of all time at that point. Like, how many times have you heard people say it's still so quotable? Do you know how many times in real life I've used the quote, "Wise man say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza"? That movie still holds up. The costume
There's some words even as adults when we watch it again. Me and my best friends, and my best friends that I have now, I didn't know them when I was 7. This thing was like, it's one of those things like you meet people and you know, you're like, yeah, remember the Turtles movie? Like it was a whole vibe. And now I don't think kids get anything like that anymore, too. Really, to think about it, they really don't. Where everybody's talking about.
There's really not too many exciting like kids, like specifically kids IPs anymore. Like they kind of, and if it is, it kind of gets taken over and adopted.
That Paw Patrol movie looking
but they tried to cancel Paw Patrol. Like it's crazy.
Looking hard.
Damn. Okay, I've never seen the trailer that excited.
Atreus likes his Paw
the
Patrol.
police dog.
Guys, I'm gonna finish up the super chats because we got another half an hour, and I want to get into the last topic with Kai. So let's just finish this up real quick. We got Kyoko Fulgarian for 5 says, I'm sorry, but this April for the new TMNT film looks like Velma from that horrid Velma series. Did Mindy have a hand in this? Anyone? I mean, they all kind of designed the women to look the same, though. You know what I'm saying? So it shouldn't be too shocking to see a similarity between these characters.
Ugly, it's called the ugly brown / black woman archetype. It's like, like we're getting rid of the white women, then we're replacing them with ugly ass dark skinned women because that's how these people that promote these designs see themselves as.
But I can't get over the reality comment though.
They can't get over the fact that they are fat, lonely, and at the moment not good looking. Instead of working on themselves, they use this shit as an excuse to project their frustrations of the real world to other people that don't give a shit. They just want a good product.
Well, it ain't just about their frustrations. Like, let's just keep it a bean.
They're just petty.
They're trying to socially indoctrinate white men to be more attracted to these kind of black women, bro.
Well, I am a white man, and I'm sorry that if I ever
that's
met
why
a girl,
you, in your opinion, get shut down with misogynistic, racist, alt-right.
Yeah, I know.
Because at the end of the day, that's what they're gonna
do.
They're gonna hit you with all these lines to get you to shut up. And when they strap you to the chair, they're gonna pull your eyelids open and they're gonna force you to watch this shit.
Like
you
Bird
see
Box.
that? That is a good black woman. You gonna like it.
I know it's not.
And that's why we're all running to we're all running to AI women. That's why I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point,
it's still the thing for me about that whole like they only make the diverse characters, quote unquote diverse characters. They make them into the ugly ones. I still just can't get over the whole fact that someone actually got online, a creator of a character like this got online and said that these character designs are based in reality, and everybody cheered him on as if like this is like how could that not be a racial thing? Like how could you not be
reality based? Because
how could he not be getting called racist for? I don't even know how to say it without getting annoyed.
You want to know there's a real answer to that question, but it might get the channel shut down. So, but this is orchestrated. Just know that. And canceling or whatever never comes really from the regular person, even the regular left-wing person. Let's just make that clear. You have to think about owners and this, that, and the other, and who sends the signal out for who's getting canceled. You know what I mean? So there's a whole.
No, I got you. I got you.
So he's okay. And the agenda is a communistic approach. I can't stress that enough. They are trying to take away anything traditional. Come on, the black women don't look like this. It's not even just about white women. No woman would want to be depicted in that fashion, be called a woman. It almost looks like a boy, right? All of it, yo, man. It's all
tranny. It's a linebacker. It's not a boy. It's a linebacker.
Latinos just don't like black. Because wasn't there a Latino dude that also made, Miles Morales Thor? Latinos just don't understand black people or flat out don't like them. One of the two.
No, it's people who aren't black making black characters and pretending as if they know what they're talking about. That's the problem.
Latino activists don't know black people.
Yeah, and honestly, these Latinos are like whoever's drawing this stuff.
He's the whitest looking Latino I've ever seen, and he's and I'm only half Puerto Rican, so he's competing with me in terms of like how white I am.
Really, whiter than Ryan, or like
he's a Latinx, but it all comes from the top. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
don't you dare say that damn word. Don't you dare.
Let me finish it up. Culture Casino for 5 says, I love black people. Show me the money. Jerry Maguire and Jay, of course.
Oh my God.
Oh, come on.
Jay's trying to disavow all of these comments.
I'm only here so I don't get sued.
Jer Rare Bear, that's a tongue twister, for $10 says April looked more like a turtle than she ever has before. The actress that plays her also claims her iteration has more agency and her own goals. She has always had her own agency and goals. Well, one of the most common things these overly diverse characters have is that they all are being used as a means for these creators to try to be the first, quote unquote, the first to do anything. Like they swear they're like the champions in their own mind of their own like cause. And they if they looked back even 10, 15 years ago, they would realize that a lot of the shit they say they're the first to do, people have done many, many, many times over. But again, it's all about being the first, because with being the first comes the attention that they want, and that's really what they want.
Lying, man.
They know they're lying, but you know, Juicy Smoulier knew he was lying too.
Yeah,
And,
you know what I mean? I get it. They're crazy.
yeah.
Pay
The Cold
attention
War
to the
never
fact
ended.
that- Pay attention to the fact that whenever they design the black male characters and then white male characters, they never like look anything close like that, because it's about what they
Right.
design in reality. When they draw that white man, he's always looking like a Ryan Gosling, a Henry Cavill, or something. Same thing with the black male; they always look like a Idris Elba or some shit like that. But when it comes to that, when they want to draw,
They
a
be
male
making
character-
black dudes look like soy boys too. I ain't gonna lie.
No.
With the
Soy boy is
glasses.
different from. Wait. Soy boy is different from just being like physically unattractive. Like you, like
Yes.
just like look how they did Fred in that Velma series, right?
Oh,
Fred,
yeah.
like they made him look like an attractive white guy, but they made him a fucking moron. Same thing with
Yeah.
the fake Shaggy swap. Like what the fuck was that?
Right.
He didn't look like fat or busted or disgusting or anything. He was just
He was
a
black.
moron.
a simp. He was a simp.
He was a
Yeah, he was a
nerd
simp.
simp, unfortunately.
And so that's what
Yeah.
they want them
Yeah.
to be. They either want you to be a simp or they want you to be a complete moron. So if you're an attractive white guy in any of these things, they're going to make sure, yeah, he's attractive, but he's a moron, and therefore men suck. Or if you
Don't worry, Ryan, you're safe.
I'm fine. I'll be the villain. Who gets?
Matter of fact,
his
if they
head
did
cut off.
Ryan, and they would make him the most masculine, because they would try to make him unattractive and make him look.
I can't take it.
Ultra racist. All the
Yeah,
all
yeah,
like
they would make him
Go
the
to
most
the super
masculine
chat.
to make masculinity look.
Take off my
Christopher
glasses and Chinese
Gonzalez.
nose, very Jewish.
Christopher Gonzalez for 2 says Atreus' rant was based AF. Hail the 199. There you go. And then we got OG Veteran for 1999. Thank you, my good sir. Says this is just another hijacked IP that's been bastardized by hacks like Rogan. It's all part of pushing the message and deconstructing our beloved franchises. It's part of a great reset, in my opinion.
Thank you so much. I wanted
no.
to say it, but I stayed out of using those words. Good job, veteran.
Casey got so excited. She's like, "Thank you."
I said, I'm
Yes,
not
it's
gonna-
communism.
You know, because,
God
like,
damn
I'm
it.
always bringing it up. I said I'm not going to do it today. But,
First, you got Prime saying abomination. You got Casey saying communism. Everybody got their own like word.
I mean,
Tranny demon.
You
I
definitely
mean,
got tranny demon.
Steve probably
Yeah.
came up with a new word for Casey. I think he wants me to pronounce it as Latinx cracker. I think it was, or salsa saltine. I don't know. You know, you gotta give the southern twang. You know, you gotta say Latinx cracker. There you go.
Well,
Okay.
a woke Asian is a chinks. So
that is really.
Oh my god.
All right, let's jump into this topic, guys. We got 20 minutes left, and I really
Now
want
all
to talk
that.
about this one.
All my
Let's
fans
talk-
watching, just so you know. Go ahead.
Jay has
come
no
on.
no affiliation. No affiliation. He's innocent.
He's gonna
Uh,
put on a hypnotic hood soon just to blend in.
I still can't believe people really thought we were the same person. But anyway,
I know.
that was the thing. That was a legit thing for a long
Yeah,
time.
it was.
But it's okay. Influencer Kai Cenat charged with inciting a riot after New York City mayhem. They actually charged him. Now, of course, nothing's going to happen to him, but they actually charged him. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is because this is just further proof, in my opinion, that what we've known or what we've understood to be the word celebrity has changed, in my opinion, drastically over the last few years. And he's not the first one to obviously do this, right? There was example, I think it was the Paul brothers who had a huge fucking stampede in a mall that ended up injuring people and whatnot, like a couple years ago. Like the word and meaning of celebrity has changed drastically to the point where now you have a streamer pulling an I don't want to call it an audience, let's just say a crowd or whatever, but just people, like they're pulling numbers bigger than these Hollywood studios can even dream of. You know what I'm saying? Like if you had your normal celebrity, right? Let's say you had, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of a big name, but whatever, Tom Cruise, Hugh Jackman, Tom Cruise, whatever. It's like something like that. If you said that there was going to be a signing or something along those lines with those celebrities, and it's going to be at New York City at XYZ day and time, I guarantee you this crowd here would probably be bigger. You know what I'm saying? From Kai Cenat. And it just goes to show that the power and influence of what we now know as celebrities, especially social media influencers or whatever word you want to use. I don't really like the word influencer, but social media personalities, they definitely have gone much farther than the Hollywood celebrities have gone recently anyway. But I mean, what do you guys make of this?
Well, let's back up to the fact they charged him. What the fuck did they charge him for? All he did was say, "I'm going to go somewhere and give something away." That's
hell
not
He
illegal.
deserved every bit. He deserved every bit of those charges. I don't care what nobody says.
He didn't incite this.
One at a time. Trey's, go.
Listen. You have to be held accountable for stuff. When you go out there and do that with no permit whatsoever, because he has no permit. He just went out there and
you
decided
don't need a permit to give something away.
Yeah, but you
preach it, Trey. Preach.
Right now,
wait.
Who wants this Switch? Nintendo Switch?
I'm the mayor. So I'm the mayor of Atlanta. If let's say, for instance, Leon is a big influencer in Atlanta, I'm the mayor, right? You go down there, you decide to give some shit away, people riot in the streets, that's property damage anyway.
So what? Influencers have different laws? He still didn't break a law. I can go wherever I want and give something away. That's not breaking a law.
He incited a riot.
He didn't incite shit. That inciting a riot is like saying he did something, he wanted to provoke it, that he has no control over these people's actions. That's what Trump is literally being accused of right now.
I disagree. If you bring a big ass crowd unsanctioned to my city and there's all type of property damage,
but he didn't bring the crowd. He just said, "I'm gonna be."
He absolutely brought the crowd. He knew the crowd was gonna come. What do you mean?
This is libertarian versus authoritarian, folks.
Look, I think that he definitely got a little in over his head. I mean, obviously, I think this is more so just ignorance. There was obviously no intention for this to have happened, at least as far as I could tell. And it got out of control. I didn't think he realized how out of control it was going to get. I mean, this is a young guy that we're talking about. But that being said, I don't personally think he should be charged. It isn't his fault that take it from a person that's been a New Yorker for 24 years out of my 30 years of living. I think most people would underestimate how truly retarded New Yorkers are. They are very fucking retarded. As someone that says I literally lived the film Escape from New York when I left. That it just is what it is. I hope he learns something from this. Now, if he say this, this goes down, whatever, and then he chooses to do it again, then it's like, okay, you understood what would happen if you did some shit like this, and then you decided to do it again. Now, that to me is a different story. But in this situation, I don't think he was inciting a riot. He didn't tell these people to be the absolute dumb motherfuckers that they chose to be with their desperate ass, loser ass ways for doing that. If anything, I mean, the right thing to do is to really gather up all these people, which is not really realistically possible when you think about it. The first thing, yes, and it should be the individuals that took part in actually doing the damages, not necessarily the one person that was there.
How about action
not breaking a law
in inciting a riot rather than stating
You were
the fact?
asking for him for charges to be put on him when he doesn't have special laws just because he's an influencer. This is freedom. There's no, we gotta treat you different because you're an influencer.
They have special laws when it comes to defamation cases. They have special laws and treatment when it comes to defamation cases. Why shouldn't it apply here?
Because defamation is a lawsuit, not a charge. Defamation is not a criminal charge.
Hold on. I'm not saying that he should serve jail time. I'm saying he should be held accountable for having an unsanctioned event in the middle of New York and all this property damage happening.
Do I think that he should have been arrested? Yes, because that, theoretically, is the first, the thing that would theoretically stop the situation. Now, for him to be charged, I don't agree with. Him being arrested, I get, which didn't technically help. But I don't agree with the charge.
Detained would probably be the better. Detained is not arrested. They are different.
Charging you is going to deter other influencers from doing the same thing. If I let you walk away with nothing, what's to stop anybody else from doing it?
But here, this is a slippery.
If you didn't break a law, then you should walk away with nothing.
Atreus, this is a slippery slope scenario that you're imposing. Then it could be justified that the same thing that's being done to Trump is justifiable, which I don't agree with either.
I do want to chime in, okay? But I'm going to give this perspective that I don't know if it'll be interesting. So let me just put it this way. On one, I do have to agree with both camps on certain things, but at the end of the day, we have to take a lot of things into context. Number one, Kai Cenat, as an influencer, I just looked up his age. He is a 21-year-old influencer. Now, here's the thing. Unfortunately, most of these influencers that always end up on the news, especially the black influencers, which are always the most controversial that always come out of these articles, these are usually very young influencers that do not have much when it comes to real world experiences, when it comes to things on the legal side of the system. Now, I do agree that someone like an influencer does have the right to go out and basically do a giveaway. However, we do have to understand something, okay? It would have been to his benefit. However, due to his young age and ignorance in the matter, he could have easily made it very clear on his social media to his fans, hey, I'm doing a giveaway in New York. If you want to come in, please do it in an orderly fashion. I will not tolerate anyone getting violent. And also, what he should have also done as well is ask people older than him to give him some counsel, maybe even notify the city of New York to make sure that they had enough time to set up a proper security perimeter to prevent this thing from breaking out. And then also, even that would have been a perfect scenario. But when this happened, this also showcased two very important things. Number one, people or big influencers or people that gather large followings, they don't realize the fact that most of the people a good portion of the people that follow them, they don't understand the concept of reason. They don't understand the concept of restraint. They believe that whatever happens in the online world is 100% reflected in the physical real world, which means that there's barely any rules, barely any barriers, when that's not the case. There is a reason why the world that we live in is functioning, albeit barely, because there is some sort of structure of order in place.
It's the online world made manifest. This situation is the online world made manifest, and we're going to see more of it.
And also, the thing is, that's one point. Point number two, all this riot showcase is the fact that the city of New York, or the government of the city of New York, is so corrupt and unstable that they cannot even organize a speedy suppression of the riots that is actually effective, considering, and this is in if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, this is in Times Square, correct? This is like a very big public area that always has massive amounts of people, right? Union Square. Okay.
This is where, this is the general area in which the ball drops.
Exactly.
No, it was Union Square.
It was Union
Square. The riots
but
were
that's
not
the
Times
thing.
Square, Union Square, guys.
But if I may, real quick, I'm going to just say
go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm done.
Stop, because I heard everything that y'all was saying about the most. Did he get a permit? I don't know. If he didn't, then they'll get him on some bureaucratic law about not getting a permit. But I do not understand why. What else what are they gonna charge him with? What, the kids that were jumping on cars and telling the cops F the police? What does that have to do with
inciting
me?
a riot is what they're gonna.
How did he incite a riot? I did not tell.
That is my question, Casey. How did he?
Actions. How about that?
Let me just finish, because I'm gonna make mine fast. I didn't tell anybody to go out there and act stupid. Okay. I didn't tell. So it's the same thing. So now if I throw a party here and I have 40 people here, and then they start 2 or 3 of these people start acting up and jumping on people's cars or doing something outside,
they're gonna sue you.
No,
that's what they're gonna do.
No, this no. It doesn't work like that. This is America. It does not work like that. Yeah, like.
Well, here's the problem. Generally,
that song. This is America.
Like you said, this is
I'm out one at a time. Casey, go.
I'm almost done. This is exactly the same thing that they are trying to do to Trump. They're trying to get to that case where they say that he incited an insurrection. If I'm how is it? I can't be responsible for the actions of
other human beings.
That's them. They should have arrested every last child out there. That's what they should have did. They should have arrested all of them that was doing it. They're the ones that should be arrested. I didn't tell them to act like that. What do you mean?
If he had said in his tweet, fill the streets, block traffic, that would be incitement. But he didn't say that. He didn't do that.
Exactly. And we have to be careful, because if we start thinking that just saying everybody come, they acted up.
Well, how is it that they're saying that this is inciting a riot, but like, you know, the BLM protests, Antifa protests?
I agree with that. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is,
but there's but Atreus, is there a difference between the BLM riots / Antifa riots versus this situation right here? Is there a difference?
If you are a public figure and you organize an unsanctioned event, no permit, the city don't know what to
organize. He didn't organize anything.
Yes, he did. If you announce
if I say, hey, I'm going to be at X location, if I say I'm going to be at this spot, I'm not organizing anything.
Yes, you did. You just told hundreds of thousands of people, I'm going to be at this spot at this particular time. Come out here during this. You have no security. The city doesn't know what's going on.
It's not illegal to tell you people where you're going to be.
It's not illegal to tell people where you're going to be. But if you get a bunch of people together and people start acting a goddamn fool, somebody's going to want to hold somebody accountable for property damage, and they have to have some
atrocities accountable.
They hold
not
the shepherd accountable.
I wish someone could talk without being interrupted.
Okay.
I never thought I'd agree with Atreus.
That's all
I'm
saying.
Atreus, finish your thought. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. The only point I'm saying is y'all are acting as if a public person can just go out and say whatever they can assemble their fans anywhere. They can come out and do whatever property damage that they want to do, and that person isn't held accountable. Somebody has to be held accountable. Now you're saying go and round up all those kids. Yeah, I guess you could do that if you know exactly who all if you just happen to get some on camera. But
they found out who all the J6 riders were.
But that's at the fucking White House. We're talking about on the streets of New York. And then y'all keep comparing it. Y'all keep comparing it to Trump. I don't remember Trump, anything close to Trump, announcing, "Hey, listen, we're gonna do this. Everybody come here and do this." I don't know. Wait.
If you say I don't remember something, we need to tell you what happened, Atreus. So when you say I don't remember Trump doing XYZ, but he did. What Trump said was, we are not going to stand for this. We're not going to take
Leon,
it. Show
the point that Atreus is making, I do understand the point in a way Atreus is making. Let me tell you this, because like in Europe, right, especially in Germany, I'm pretty known. If I would tell through my social media where I would be at a certain time, at a certain position, people would show up, because I know what, the effect of my message would be. So as a public figure that is known, you share amount of responsibilities. You are not a normal human being.
But is there a law on the books?
I know what you're
saying,
but you have a consciousness for the impact that your image causes with some people that are following you. We have fans, and we know exactly we have a responsibility. It's not just fun. It's not just, hey, give it a boo-boo.
Let's use drinking as an example. It's not illegal to drink. However, if you drink and do dumb shit and the dumb shit's illegal, you then get arrested. This is the exact same thing. If there's a law on the books that he violated by saying, I'm going to be here, that would be one thing. But so far as I can tell, just stating where he is going to be is it irresponsible? Sure, I will not deny it's irresponsible. But if he did not commit a crime, he shouldn't be being charged.
But when you act in a very irresponsible way with property that doesn't belong to you in a public space, it's one thing if you kind of rent out a tent and you say, come over here to my tent, right? Let's have fun in my tent. Let's play some music in my tent. And nobody's gonna go hurt. But it's a difference when you say that into an open public space where other people are as well, because you have to deal with the consequences, because you are a public figure, therefore you attract people, and you should have also some type of duties as a public figure. Matter of fact,
be the example. You should set the example.
But we're talking about should. I'm sorry, guys. Stop saying should. I don't care about
I'm not saying he should be arrested. I'm not saying
he's
guilty of anything or he should be arrested.
But did this dude set the example to be chaotic? Because I didn't hear about him jumping on cars, causing a ruckus.
No.
You are your fan base, unfortunately, as a creator.
Here's the thing. I don't think
I don't agree to that either, because there's some crazy motherfuckers that may follow me. Yeah, I can't babysit every single
That's my
person that
point.
subscribes to my
not.
channel.
But
Like,
let me put in my so here's it's a catch-22. So he's an influencer, he has a following, right? To claim total ignorance over the fact that you don't know how many people are actually going to show up by you just announcing you're going to be somewhere, I don't think that's fair. I think he absolutely knew how many people were going to be there, the actual power of his influence. Most influencers with that many followers should at least be aware. And maybe you can claim, oh, he's a young guy, so he's a little retarded. But at the end of the day, just because you're young and retarded doesn't mean that your influence just suddenly disappears. Like, you have that level of influence over people. And one thing I will say too is that a good lawyer is going to get him out without a doubt. Like, this little charge, nothing's going to happen from this. It's gonna go away. What I will say is that I don't really count it as him necessarily saying, oh, I'm just going to be at XYZ place, because someone could argue, well, it actually was an event because you are going to XYZ place to give something away. As you say, you were just going to go to XYZ place to just be at XYZ place. That's different, but you're actually giving something away. Thus, it actually becomes an event technically, and you're doing this to give something away to people. So you must know that there's going to be a certain amount of people to come. Now, for him to get arrested because of what people decided to do when they went there, you can't control what all those people do. But at the same notion, you should at least have some level of intelligence to know that if you have that many people gathering in one location, especially now, man, like the way the world is, you should know that shit's probably going to go crazy. You're going to have a whole bunch of young people who are feeling some type of way for whatever reason. They just want an excuse to act retarded. That's all it is. They want an excuse to act stupid. That's what happened during BLM riots. You think that shit was for social justice? No, motherfuckers wanted an excuse to steal a TV, to go rob from Target. They just wanted a reason to go do it. So it's kind of like it's both, right? So they charged him because he was the easy one to charge. But they know that it's not nothing's gonna happen from it. It's gonna go nowhere. Yeah. And it's easier to charge him because charging him creates a headline that the other little roaches can read and say, "Oh shit, they charged Kai. Fuck, maybe we should stop. Maybe we should stop acting. Maybe we should stop acting a little ratchet." You know what I mean? Yeah. So it just goes to show, but. It didn't stop them though. And the idea that the cops had about, I guarantee they charged him because they were hoping by charging him it'll quell the storm, so to speak. Yeah. It didn't, because they still went crazy. They still did what they were gonna do, and honestly, it gives them an excuse to act even more retarded than they already were. Anyway, that's my thought.
I don't disagree with any of that. Because they decided to charge him. In my mind, that's saying, okay, now we can just charge anyone for anything without a regard for what may or may not be legal, just to basically throw our weight around. That's authoritarianism.
Welcome
in
to
its
New York.
Welcome to New York is pretty liberal, but if you're going to organize an event,
they have terrible laws in New York.
If you're going to organize an event, the proper way to do that is to communicate with officials and how to make sure that people are protected. We're talking about New York where there's traffic already and you just threw hundreds of people in the middle of it. Just because you sent out a tweet or a post or whatever the case may be, there's a proper way to do things. And while I want to reiterate, I'm not saying he should serve jail time. I'm not saying that he should be indicted on anything. All I'm saying is there is no possible way that a public person should be able to send out a tweet and tell people, I'm going to be here doing this, show up. Then hundreds of people show up, do a bunch of property damage, and that person just go home and act like, no, there needs to be a lawsuit.
Breach of the peace. That's what you're saying. However, what you are advocating for is different sets of rules for different people. And I personally
it's already that way. I already said
it's already that way,
the case, so we should not be advocating for it further. All people should have the same set of rules and laws apply to them. Some people should not get special or worse treatment based on different laws. That is not okay. That is authoritarianism.
That is an ideal world, but unfortunately, the one that
we've run out of time.
Look, and I'm not saying it, and I'm not saying it's a way of mockery, but please understand, I'm not saying it like that. I'm just, believe me, all of us here would wish it to be the case, but that's not unfortunately how it is. No. Every city in every part of the world, but especially in America, they have certain biases towards certain groups of people from the get-go. Okay, like if we're talking about New York, at least you can go back at least 200 years, or I guess 100 and some 30 years, where they had a bias against Irish, Chinese, and I believe it was German immigrants. Then it changed to crime, and they always have a certain bias as the years go by. And unfortunately, at least with this group that we're talking about, with this streamer, the reason again that they arrested him is because, number one, the NYPD, like Hypno said, they probably hired him because they thought it was the easiest way to bring down the ringleader of what they thought was, at the time, the inciter of a riot. Now, of course, I'm sure they found out quite quickly that that was not the case, and that's why these riots got out of control. And unfortunately, they thought that by arresting him, even if they knew that he wasn't the one inciting it, that it would make them look good. It would make the NYPD look good to their throughout the political spectrum, because unfortunately, with these police departments, Atreus, throughout the entire U.S. and I'm sure in other
There's
countries,
nothing that looks good about arresting a black kid.
I know, but they thought, but when you put the label, wait, but when you put the label, I know it doesn't look good arresting a black man in these days, but when you put something like,
I'm talking about, what do you get from arresting a streamer? What political points does that bring you?
Well, they add a label to them, inside a riot insider. It may not be true, but it makes them look good.
I want to double on Leon really quick, because the show's got to wrap up. I want to double up on
Double
Leon.
team me, baby.
Leon, I know you like that shit. So Leon said something about having laws for different people, like you're treading that fine line. So you can have different laws, right? Let's say you have, I mean, that technically you already kind of do in certain scenarios, but different laws for celebrities, different laws for influencers versus the average man, regular man, whatever you want to call it. But the thing is, in a city environment like New York City, the average man still has to get a permit for an event. Like if you are a nobody, right? Let's say you don't have a social media following, whatever the case may be. Let's say you want to have a wedding, like a massive wedding with 400 or 500 people, right? You're just an average Joe, but you want to have a big ass wedding that happens to be in some part of New York City or whatever. You still got to get a permit. You can't just show up with 500 people in New York City and it's going to cause chaos. Like New York City, you can't walk somewhere without walking on top of someone. So imagine if you throw 500 people into any section of New York City, you're going to probably have a problem. Now, with that being said, he should have known. Again, he should have known. I think the disparity between everybody's arguments is whether or not we classify this as an event. And I classified it as an event the moment he said he was giving something away. I think it's an event. Okay. Now you can make arguments for or against social media influencers saying they're going to be somewhere. Is that considered an event, whether they're giving something away or not? Let's say they're not. Is that considered an event if a social media influencer says, I'm going to be at XYZ place and 2,000 people just happen to show up? Is that considered an event?
I don't know. I think if you announce it, technically it's an event. I think if you are a public figure of any kind, you have a responsibility. It's the same as, remember, it's the same as if you got a fan base and you beefing with another YouTuber and then you send your followers.
Hello?
Atreus, you got muted.
Atreus, your mic muted. Your mic
Content
muted.
creator gang warfare, folks. Brought to you by Atreus.
I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? You have the same. It's kind of like when you. It's kind of like there's like. Are you breaking a law when you are a big influencer and you send your fan base to go and troll another person? No, technically you're not breaking a law, but you have a responsibility not to do that because of trying to police the internet or whatever the case may be. And we can debate about that, but when you do it in real life. When you announce as a public figure, knowing the following that you have, you announce you're going to be somewhere, and then you do it like you don't let nobody know that, hey, because like what if I got a store that's opened up right there? Like what if I got a store, maybe a fashion store, whatever the case may be, and I'm expecting to have X amount of income that day, and then you do that shit right in front of my store, and none of my customers can get to me. Somebody's got to.
No, because people exercising their freedom might inhibit your ability to make money, but it does not inhibit your freedom, which is where like let's go back to Atreus's let's go back to Hypno's wedding thing. Let's say Central Park is a public place, right? Central Park is a public location. If I was to go get married in Central Park, I wouldn't need to have at least I wouldn't assume I would need to have a permit to do so. I would need a permit if I wanted to block part of Central Park off to make it a private event. But if I was just like, hey, I'm going to get married in Central Park and people are walking through it, walking in front of pictures while the photographer's taking them, as long as I'm not stopping people from their access to Central Park, I am not creating an event.
Just so you're aware, because 500 people, time out. Just so you're aware, because I'm very well aware of New York City laws. If you have 20 or more people, you need a permit for New York City.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. In New York City, if you have 20 or more people and you're in any part of New York City, you need a permit. If you have more than 20 people, you got a problem. Then you're gonna get shut down, or it's gonna be some sort of issue. So yes, and in New York City, it's going to be a problem. New York City is way too packed to be bringing any amount of people like that into the city, because it's going to cause a problem. It's not like you're going into fucking Kentucky or something where you're on 10 acres of land. Like, no, you're in the city where every fucking TLC driver is going to try to run you over. So it's a problem. We are. Listen, we're gonna wrap up the show. We have to wrap up the show, Leon. We have to wrap up the show. I'm sorry.
Can I at least ask?
No,
ran out of time.
Go ahead. Ask the question. What's the question?
What constitutes as bringing 20 people? Because if I just say I'm going to be here and 20 people show up of their own volition, I didn't bring them. They chose to show up. I didn't bring these people.
No, if you say you're gonna, be you saying, see, but here a lawyer can argue by you saying to your following that you're gonna be somewhere is essentially you notifying people that you are going to be somewhere and you're hoping they show up and arrive. Why would you tell someone you're gonna be somewhere unless you're hoping they're gonna arrive?
We get what you're
Why
saying,
do people post
but
pictures of their food on fucking Facebook? They like to show off and show the world their private shit. Like as an art lawyer, I'd make that argument. Why do people post pictures of their food on Facebook? They're not hoping you go down to McAllister's and see, oh yeah.
I don't post my food and say this food is amazing, but if I say, hey, everybody come to this restaurant so we can all have this.
All people do. And then tag a location.
I'm not mad at the permit thing. If I could just say, I'm not mad at it, but no, he should get in trouble for not having a permit. That's not my issue. I'm just mad that he's the only one who got arrested. That's my issue. These kids are out there.
Fair enough. Good point.
I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I think the rioters definitely 100%. I'm telling you this charge it's gonna go nowhere. It's absolutely gonna go nowhere. But
so it teaches the kids that they can get away with doing this.
All it is for the NYPD to say, "Oh, look, we did something." That's it. That's all it's for.
All this argument is. That's all that is. And every state is different.
Don't call me lofty, Leon. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, you are lofty, Leon. You want the last fucking word.
You guys have to understand too is that in order for people to file insurance claims, an arrest has to be made too. So like I don't know how it exactly works in New York, but I know in certain states it's like for people that got their car smashed up or their businesses messed up, for them to get an insurance claim, it's like somebody was arrested. This is what they were charged. So I agree that nothing's going to happen. That it's just a thing to process the paperwork, and we'll see what happens after.
The law has a lot of loopholes, unfortunately. Like that's
New York, man, isn't that
New York? But like the law in general, there's always loopholes depending on what state you are in.
Follow the money,
and
baby.
Interpretations.
All you got to do is follow the money.
And the lawyers they're gonna exploit that. That's obvious. So,
exactly.
Listen, guys, let's wrap. I'm sorry, Casey. I know we could keep going forever, but let's wrap up the show, man. This was a great episode 50, man. It was awesome. I had such a great time. I just want to thank again Drunk3po Jay for joining us tonight, man. It was awesome having you here on Saturday Night Hypnosis.
Oh man,
let's do
awesome to be here.
Yeah, man. Let's do our outros real quick and do our thing. So Casey, take it away.
Well, thank you guys for allowing me to come back. I had so much fun with everybody on the panel. It's just like old times, just a good time, guys. And check me out on That Girl Casey. That's where I'm going to start. That's my channel. And I'm going to start putting new episodes out this week. Massive new episodes coming out. So you can check me out on That Girl Casey and Bring the Asteroid channel, where I am partnering up with two other amazing content creators, Justin Is Lost and Matt from A Common Idiot. And we have a channel that like all three of us, like we live stream on it. It's a new thing that we're starting. And I talk about everything going on in the world that's current today and how it's all connected, like that great reset that he said on the comment.
There you go. Good stuff. All right, Ryan Roger Athay, take it away, sir.
Thank you all very much for watching. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the iconic Hypnotic. I'm sure you'll enjoy what he has to offer. Great to meet Drunk3po for the first time.
Is your hair blowing in the wind?
aware of him.
He has a fan in the background.
It's like Jesus, man. Like you turned into Jesus right before my eyes. What the
British
heck?
Jesus.
My goodness, Drunk. The author Stephen Walton was right about you. You're a great guy. You can check me out at Ryan Rogerathe. I'm the host and founder of Reality Based. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, and no other genders, binaries, tranny demons, or full-blown AIDS demons. Bye for now, folks.
That is his outro to every video, just so you know that he makes.
And then he wonders why he has channel suppression.
It's the only one I can remember off the top of my head.
You're inspired.
We need to remember another one. All right, Coach MC, man, the best of us. Take it away.
Thank you so much, everybody. We know communication is like a great business card. If you want to step up your communicational game, you want to become an even more remarkable, performer, an actor, a comedian, a stand-up, somebody who really wants to impact his audience, really search inside for a great product and kind of flesh that out, have some great stuff going on for yourself when you're communicating, when you're really saying the things that you want to say in the most honest way, then come over to the Coach MC studio, check out my videos, my acting tips videos, my mindset videos, everything else like concerning art and communication as well. You can find it on my channel. If you need also like to prepare something and you probably don't have the time or the right feedback right now around in your environment and you need some help to do that, come over to my website. It's thecoachmc.studio and just shoot me a message. Let's start a great adventure together. To me, art is the ultimate frontier. This is the challenge of the universe, to understand the sacred and beautiful language and kind of express something through our pores, through our passion and through our intellect that is really remarkable. It stands for us. I mean, we have like so many years on this planet and then it's over. Let's make the best out of it. Let's really express what we got inside. And therefore, if you have any adventures in that term in mind or anything like that, just come over and let's start the ride and let's really find our holy grail of communication. And see you next Saturday.
Absolutely amazing. Jeez, always inspiring. Then we have cult classic Cage, Rage Cassie.
Yeah, guys, it's really fun hanging out with y'all. Great discussions, debates, all that in one, and at the end we can all walk away still enjoying each other's company, and that's what's really important to me. If you haven't, definitely check me out on my YouTube channel, Cult Classic Cage. I'm creeping up on 2.5K, so anything obviously to help is very much appreciated. I posted like my two most recent videos for me just jumping on Anita Sarkeesian and her fanboys and fangirls, so it's crazy how there's still actually people that endorse that piece of shit. If you like some good entertainment and pissing on the grave of feminist frequency, you're more than welcome to check that out. Also check me out on Kick, where I stream react videos and video games and just overall fun time hanging with the homies. And if you want to talk to me personally, you could always hit me up on Twitter. And thanks so much, Hypnotic, for having me here. And obviously good to have Casey back on the panel again so everyone can get our names mixed up again.
Yeah, that was happening too.
I've learned since then.
Thank you, Cassie. And our special guest tonight, Drunk3po Jay. The chat is spamming 199 in blue dots. Take it away, sir.
I don't even know what to
find
say.
you. It's your outro. Tell them where they can find you. What are you doing? What are you working?
Thanks for having me. Number one, the chat is MVP. I love it. I love when they could disagree and still laugh. Sandstorm, one of my number ones. Thank you for all being here. It's awesome. Should have happened a long time ago. We'll definitely do this again. But for me personally, if you really want to help me out, go to my History of Pirates channel and subscribe there. Only if you like pirates and all things pirates. We're trying to get that channel to 5,000 subscribers. So it's kind of like a fun project that we have over there. Yeah, look at all the 199s. I love it. It's for my Geeks and Gamers brother, Jeremy. Yeah, so that's fantastic. But yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. If not, you can find me all things Drunk3po. We have a good time on our live streams and on Kick. So that's it.
Man. I think I found your channel, but YouTube is putting it like
mods,
way
please
at the bottom.
drop the link to his
I didn't tell Hypnotic. It's just
I'll put it.
But if you don't like that kind of thing, don't worry about subscribing.
Jay,
We just want
Jay,
people
fuck
that will
that.
enjoy
You
the
deserve this
content.
shit. Okay, you're way too good of a person.
It's all right. T-Jab's gonna drop the link. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Fuck
All
that.
right. Dragon Slayer commentaries. Take it away, sir.
Oh yeah, sup guys? Yeah, your Dragon Boy here. What acted very good today. He did not incite any fights for once, or,
Boy, why you
or
lying?
didn't fan the flames. A tiny bit, but today, look, today Hood Ninja and Leona over here went at it. Okay, I did jack shit today. All right. So look, I am officially Dragon Slayer commentaries or Dragon HQ 1772 on Twitter. If you want to talk to me there, or just see all the stuff that I comment about constantly in the interwebs. And for all my other socials, I do have a link tree of every social I'm on, including Rumble. I guess we'll announce it. I do have a Rumble where I post all of my videos there in case YouTube tries to shut me down 100%. And I made a video recently, by recently I mean last week, on the last Indiana Jones movie, and I'm currently working on making a video on part 2 of that terrible season 3 of The Witcher. So stay tuned for that, and I've made other great videos, as you all know, so check those out. Yeah, that's me. Thank you guys, and love the stream.
Good stuff, sir. Good stuff. All right, Leona, take it away, sir.
Yes, it is awesome to be back. I'm always happy to be here. Saturday nights are among my favorite nights of the week purely because of this show. So thank you very much for letting me be on. I definitely love that we can all disagree and then we can have these like arguments, then go back to our group chat and send memes and then talk just the most ridiculous shit. I also want to give a round of applause to Ryan Roger Athe. This is probably the least racist he's ever been on his stream. So, always be getting better.
Right.
But, I do love being here. I love everybody in the chat. Agree, disagree. It's something the left can't do. Is when you disagree, you just got to cut off the people. You can't be friends with them anymore. When at the end of the day, that's how the conversation grows. You move forward, and you just gotta appreciate that. I also want to say thank you, Atreus. You and I, we had a very fun dialogue tonight. Kind of probably the highlight of my night, but it was great to also dunk on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was great to come in 16th place at a Magic tournament today. This has just been a very good day overall. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. And if you'd like to, go ahead and check out the channel Words of Paradise. Yes, I just crossed the 1,300 subscriber mark, which is monumental for me. So I appreciate everyone who's gotten me.
Nice.
Thank
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate everyone who's gotten me there thus far. And here's, gonna keep growing and keep getting that channel out there. If you like pop culture covered through a political lens, you guys probably saw a bit of my politics tonight, bit of an individualist. If you like pop culture through a political lens, then you will enjoy my channel. Now dropping 2 videos a day. The algorithm's killing me for doing that. So check those out and then check out Rumble Words of Paradise. Thank you very much.
Black lives
what
don't
happened
matter.
to your bird? Your bird.
Oh my god.
Oh, the bird flew off.
He was getting. I was worried he was getting too loud, and he might be the mic picking him up. So I was like, "Hey, sorry,
tweeting.
buddy."
He was tweeting.
I was gone. Yeah, I was gone all day, so he was attached to my hip, and I'm like, "Man, I love you, but you got to go. You're loud right now, and I don't want that mic picking that up."
No, and by the way, Chad, contrary to what some dumb fucks have been saying, no, Atreus and Leon don't actually hate each other. They are just very, very vocal in their dialogues, and it's completely fine. People can disagree and still get along.
Yes, absolutely.
People aren't used to that, though. That's the thing.
Wood
People aren't used
always
to that.
wants the last fucking word, though, on everything.
It's in his name. What do you expect, Ryan? Well, come on, man.
All right, let's do it. Let's do. I don't want to interrupt Atreus. Atreus, take it away, sir.
Yeah. This was a particularly fun show because we didn't spend 3 hours sucking each other off. We actually disagreed. So
we disagree almost every show. There's always like one moment of disagreement.
Yeah, there's always that one moment.
Can I have my narrative?
Of course.
Have your narrative.
Of course. Make a movement about it too and get rich.
No. It's also very racist to interrupt the trace.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. If that debate had went on, I was about 3 minutes from pulling out my race card anyway. So it's actually pretty. We did a good job. So anyway, again, it's your boy Atreus. Over on my channel, we talk about pop culture and stuff, but we've kind of molded more into like a reaction channel because there's a lot of different people who are in the kind of news space when it comes to the entertainment industry, and there's a lot of people like Dragon Slayer who do an excellent job reviewing stuff. So I kind of I'm just a professional shit talker, And what we plan on doing over on my channel is, you know, we're going to take the brand and we're going to leverage it and use it to create the entertainment that we want. And you know, I am a writer. You know, I talk a lot of shit, but truth be told, I am a writer. So eventually we're going to get to that point. We want to get to a point where we don't need Hollywood to get the shows off and the movies off that we want to make. And that's where we're eventually going to go. So if that's something you want to participate in that journey, then you know what I'm saying, come join your boy. I'm over on Kick, Rumble, and YouTube at Atreus everywhere. And on Twitter, I am at Atreus_Max. So, you know, you can follow me and, you know, roasting all the Lizzos of the world and, you know,
all the Shamus of the world, let's be honest.
Why don't you max D's nuts, Atreus?
God. I think there should be a new rule. Like after Ryan does his outro, we just mute him. For the rest of the stream, we just mute him.
They said, "Hey."
All right, no, listen, guys.
I haven't heard that joke since I was in college.
And Ryan will tell you he's only 24. He's only 24.
These comebacks, holy crap!
I just want to say again, thank you everybody who joined us on episode 50. Huge milestone episode, man. It's so much fun doing this every single Saturday. Jay, thank you again for joining us and bringing the crowd tonight. It was awesome. It was much appreciated. We had a lot of fun during the discussion, and obviously you're welcome back anytime. Chat, obviously next week we will have another live stream working on the guest list coming up for the next few episodes, so stay tuned for that on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, you should probably go do that. Well, now it's called X, but you know, I'll always call it Twitter. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for supporting. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna keep going because Ryan's trying to rush me because he's tired and it's UK time.
It's 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. That's right, that bastard is just ringing his
Seriously,
hand
man.
like a
Thank you
fucking
guys so much for your support. It was so much fun, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. Go be bigots. You know how it goes. Peace out.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.